of Battle of the Servers, correct?
It's the third.
Oh,
But
third,
you're
third. All
close.
right, let's fix the title. Sorry, Battle of the Servers, third iteration. I'm already messing it up. But you came up with this format shortly after they released the ability to do battling with good friends, and it's kind of taken off from there. And I know it's been one of my favorite formats. You want to just tell anybody who's not already familiar a little bit of the truncated history of Battle of the Servers and how we got here?
Yeah. So Battle of the Servers was kind of born on a whim where we thought it would be really fun to have team tournaments since now, we could do the lowered friendship requirement battles. So we just threw it together. We didn't expect it to be a big thing. We really thought it would just be different Arkansas servers and maybe a couple of stragglers. And it kind of blew up overnight. And by the end of it, I think we had like 60 something teams. So it was a lot bigger than we ever thought it would be. But as far as I know, it was the first team tournament of its kind. And I think the community was just really hungry for something like that. And it's a need that we're happy to continue to fill for as long as Niantic lets us. And it's really cool to watch other communities do their own versions of team tournaments.
I really like to think that at this point we're past the point of no return on good friendship battles. So hopefully this is something that we can keep up forever. But one of the things that I find the most fun about the two things that I find the most fun about this are just getting to collaborate with other trainers and friends, and getting to do something that's a little bit out of the ordinary. And the other is that you always have kind of a different sort of meta going on than just whatever we're already tackling in Sylph. So do you want to tell us about what the meta was this time for people?
Yeah, so this time it was open Great League draft, and we allowed one shadow per battler. And you didn't have to use a shadow. It wasn't a requirement, but the option was there if anybody wanted to use it. Because we got a lot of pushback from Battle of the Servers 2 when we just blanket banned shadows, because we just figured it would be a hot wreck if we let everyone bring all the shadows to all the Sylph metas that they had been previously banned in. So the way we did it, it's a true double elimination tournament, which means there's an upper bracket and a lower bracket. And the winner of the lower bracket would need to defeat the winner of the upper bracket twice to take that victory. And that's what we have happening today. We had our Munchcats took a round one loss, which was really amazing to come back from. And they managed to make it all the way back, win the round robin, which is how we ended our lower bracket. They had to battle against, what was it down there? It was our previous champions, Raid 44 and GG Ranch. And they had the highest score out of those teams. So they advanced to our double elimination finals versus PGBL, where they beat them in the first set. And now we're here for the actual finals to take the championship.
All right. Oh, now we're doubled up. They were telling me they could not hear me, and so I was fiddling with settings. Can you hear me now? You can still hear me, right? Hopefully you can all hear me. Okay. if any of we cannot be heard, let me know. I am going to queue up the video that you provided in the intro. I'm sorry, on Twitter. Give me just a second to do that.
So there's just an error in there. We actually had 30 teams. I think it said 28. And of course, one of the teams left off was our team. But we were there and we did great.
I do want to say that was definitely a ton of fun for us. Let's see. I'm getting... Okay. Somebody trying to send me a Galarian Ponyta. That is not the thing of the moment.
I would drop everything and do it.
You would drop everything.
Yeah. Anybody wants to send me one, now accepting those raids.
All right. So it was so much fun to be able to participate with, of course, the Bellsprouts, and be able to just kind of approach it that way. And, obviously we wanted to win and we all had a lot of fun with it, but like really the team building part was, as much fun as any other aspect of it. So I hope that anybody who has not already taken part in something like this definitely takes the opportunity to do so because it is a blast. Anybody from ARPVP or anybody in the community you want to shout out in terms of getting this done? I know that you put a lot of work personally into it. I know that that's
Yeah, my whole admin team is fantastic at ARPVP, and they have grown into just my best friends and love them to pieces. And I think that's the best part of communities like this. Even remotely, we're able to form these bonds and really grow friendships with each other. We're lucky in that most of us do live in Arkansas, so we do get to actually hang out. And Braj SF, who made our really awesome video that you're about to show. Big shout out to him, everybody who's helping us with this stream, all of our shoutcasters, you especially, Jiggly Dad, have put more work than probably I have at this point into this stream. Super grateful for you. And of course, Ethan and Max and Mel, who is always there for my million questions that I have, not just for bots, but for literally anything.
All right, let me queue up the video. Hope everybody is buckled in and we have a blast with this, and we will hand it off to our casters right after the video for our first matchup of Gottsi versus JoeyVOV. JoeyVOV, I'm not so good with pronouncing. We are ready to go, and we will hand it off to our casters. And we've got the first teams ready to go. So if you guys want to take a look at these teams and give your thoughts, and then I will queue up the video.
The Battle of the Servers is such a cool format, and I really think that shows in the team comps as well. JoeyVOV and Gottsi, both really, really good trainers, but their teams are very different. That was the first thing that stood out to me. You don't see a lot of the same picks on either side. DJ, do you have any initial impressions from these two teams?
Well, I'm actually
Alola Marowak, Shadow Machamp. I think those are 3 maybe top 10, top 15 picks, whereas Joey's team is a little bit different, a little bit unique. Definitely takes a talented trainer to play it, and I can't wait to see him execute. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is going to be a blast right here. So let's see what happens in this match here. Looks like we're going to pull it up right now.
Give me 1 second. I did something wrong on the back end that resulted in the sound cutting out when I was going to those screens. So I'm gonna fix that momentarily. I apologize, guys.
No, that's okay.
No worries at all. So DJ, let's take opposing sides here. Let's say whichever trainer you want to pick, and I'll pick one. And just viewing the teams, how would you run these teams? What groups of 3? What trios would you build for this kind of match?
Well, I actually just found the teams.
Okay.
So JoeyVOV versus Gottsi. Let's see. Gottsi has the Azus, which is something you always have to account for, because Azu in and of itself, whether it's GBL or a meta, which it works for sure, is always dangerous. And on top of that, you have no idea what exact moveset they're gonna run with the Azu. Seeing as they have Shadow Machamp and Ferrothorn and Noctowl, you would want some coverage against against Electric. Well, I mean, JoeyVOV has a Melmetal, so
yeah.
If I were Joey, I would probably obviously bring the Melmetal, because you want to cover the Azu and you want to cover the Noctowl, assuming you're running Thundershock. And then you would have to cover the Zweilous with the you can either wall it with this, you can go with the Sableye or the Skuntank, or you can just go all out and go with the Wigglytuff. So you would do a Melmetal Wigglytuff, and then you don't want the Meganium in against the to get walled by Ferrothorn and Noctowl. So I would just bring either the Skuntank or the Sableye in.
Yeah.
And that should cover at least 5-6 of the team for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with your assessment completely. I think Melmetal is key, and just an ode to how good of a battler and caster you are, that you can look at these teams instantly and say, just after a few seconds, Melmetal is going to be really important here. Definitely going to help against Noctowl, Ferrothorn, the Rock Slides, Marowak. It does not like. You also have the Zweilous, so if you're running superpower on it, you can definitely kind of hit and run and kind of get out of bad shielding scenarios. And then again, with some energy, those Rock Slides will add up on Azumarill as well. I think the whole plan here has to be protecting Melmetal for Joey. I think, like you said, he's got some great answers here, and I like the fast move pressure that Wigglytuff brings to this team. Because if you look at some of his other Pokemon here, Sableye with the Shadow Claw is a great move as well, but you run into a few obstacles here in terms of Azumarill and Zweilous. In Noctowl, again, being a normal type Pokemon, if it's a Shadow Sneak Sableye, it's probably not going to be super advantageous, but the foul play is still going to be neutral. So you have to find ways to apply pressure, but you can't afford to get your Fairy locked in against a Steel type like the Ferrothorn, or against that Alola Marowak, if you can help it. Based on the team composition here, I do think that Alola Marowak probably is going to have Fire Spin, so Melmetal will need to watch out for that. But yeah, I'm really excited.
And the only real answer for the Alola Marowak is Pelipper. No one else wants to really see that Marowak at all. And on top of that, as far as the Sableye is concerned, we don't exactly know what kind of Sableye we're getting here. It's not Shadow, so that's good. So it could possibly be Purified. We might see a return Sableye to match up against that Azu, possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of flexibility here. And again, JoeyVOV's team is not the prototypical top 15 kind of team that you're going to see, but I really like the flexibility of Skuntank and some of these other Pokemon. Jiggly, I saw the Pokeball move.
Yes,
so
yes, I think we are ready to go. I apologize for all that, guys.
No worries at all.
No, we didn't have a rehearsal here. Here we go. All right, you guys ready?
Yep, we are ready to go. And we have Zweilous into Pelipper. Well, this is probably as neutral as it gets.
I mean, this is one of those fun matchups that you only see in a draft-style format. The instant swap into Skuntank.
He's going to swap in the Skuntank, and he's going to wall the Dark Pulse, but the Body Slams are going to hit kind of hard on the Skuntank here. He's gonna get at least 2 off, and maybe he's gonna switch out right away. We don't know what he has behind it. He has Azu and Alolan Marowak, so he can't necessarily switch out here.
Yeah, I was going to say he went from one neutral matchup to another, and that just tells me that he's trying to force a swap and lure out something in the back that he really wants to take care of. But the fact that Zweilous is staying in here is not exactly the outcome that he was looking for, because these body slams are going to add up, and the Dragon Breath is just melting the Skunk Tank.
Yeah, and they don't call it body spam for nothing. This Skuntank is probably going to get to one more move, and he's going to use both shields. Interesting. He's going down no shields on the Zweilous, and he's going to put his faith into Azu and the Marowak, and let's see what happens. The Skuntank gets melted away, and both shields are down both ways. Does he bring back the Pelipper?
I mean, I think that the trainer is really trying to push this into an RPS kind of format, because if there's a steel type, oh yeah, here comes the Melmetal, just like we talked about, DJ. The quick swap into Pelipper. This is a really, really tough spot for his opponent. Ice Beam is not going to do a ton of damage, but a couple of Ice Beams Pelipper does not like. But again, shields are down. Hurricane is going to sting quite a bit. This is going to be a pretty close matchup, but I think Azu's extra energy is going to pay off for it here.
Yeah, you know that hurricane that passed Florida the other day, Hurricane Pelipper? It hurts. It hurts. It packs a punch.
I feel like there's a new one every single week, and everybody stay safe out there in these storms, man. It's rough, but Definitely. Here comes Azu, going to over farm here. How do you feel about that, DJ?
Interesting. And does he get a little greedy, or will this be a Weather Ball or another Hurricane?
Yeah, Weather Ball easily tankable by Azu, but he doesn't bank any more energy. I think when the Pelipper is out of energy like that, maybe go for another bubble or two. But either way, this trainer is in a very nice position here. Even though the shields are down, you can tell they're very comfortable.
Yeah, using that HP, every little bit of it perfectly, and out comes the Marowak, and it looks like this might go towards a Marowak.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have Joey's point of view here.
This is Joey? Okay. Yeah, I mean, Joey's in a really good spot here. I think that maybe an opportunity to work up to the Shadow Ball there, but he's not going to take any chances. We've learned a lot about this team, though, DJ. We did learn that it is a Fire Spin Marowak, and we have seen the Rock Slide from the Melmetal, so I assume it's a standard Rock Slide Superpower set.
Yep. We've seen the Rock Slide. Marowak goes down, but this is fine. Body Spam is going to come in, and this is going to do it for Joey. He's going to take game number 1 here. And we also saw that the Azu is best buddy. So, and I've just gotten word that this is Gotsi's point of view, not Joey's. So I apologize for that. So Gottsi takes game number 1 here. This is a best of 5, just so everybody knows. And that team is looking kind of strong for Gottsi there in game number 1 there.
Yeah, I feel like Skuntank is a very unique Pokemon in that it can straddle those matchups. Alola Marowak, Azumarill, those are both Pokemon that Skuntank can handle, especially when the shields are down. But the switch there by Joey to kind of offer it up to that Zweilous on a silver platter just did not pay off in the end, because his Swiss Army knife was out of the game before it could really be put to use. So I think I did see the Pokeball move into game 2.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to go into game 2 right about now. We have Zweilous into Pelipper, the same leads again.
Yeah. And we're seeing this switch again.
And again, Gotsi's not going to move at all. This is probably going to play out the same way the first game played out. Only Gotsi's not locked in this time. So hopefully we see what Gottsi has behind there. But again, these Dragon Breaths are just so oppressive. They're just gonna, especially in a Great League, they're just gonna melt anything in his path, like just go right through it. And throws a crunch. Interesting move there. Considering it's not going to do anything to his Zweilous there with the dark typing as well. And what do you think? What do you think Joey's gonna have behind the Skuntank again?
Yeah, that's a good question, DJ. I really feel like you've got to start bringing Wigglytuff to apply some fast move pressure to your opponent here. Even if you bring out the Wigglytuff to force the switch out of Zweilous, at least you get out of that negative matchup, and you can maybe try to farm down whatever comes in to fight Wigglytuff. But again, this is a really tough spot here for his opponent. Yeah, looking to switch, maybe expecting a Charmer to come in here, going to try to get out as quickly as possible. In comes a Melmetal. We see the switch again into Azu and the counter switch into Pelipper. This feels almost exactly like game one, DJ.
It to the move, to the fast move. The Ice Beam comes right now. The Hurricane's going to come right after from Pelipper, and this is looking like a literal, man in the mirror type of thing. Remember that song, MJ?
I'm starting with the oh yeah,
in the mirror.
There you go.
Woo! Oh man,
I feel like this might even be game one. I'm just gonna say it.
I feel like this might be game one all over again. So we're gonna double check with our super producer Jiggly Dad, and we'll make sure that this is actually game number 2. It's playing out exactly the same way. The Hurricane came, and then the Weather Ball.
I've got a separate video. It is video 2 playing out, unless they were edited wrong on the back end. This is the video.
So DJ, I did see one extra bubble come in, and I made that comment from round 1. So I think this is a different game.
Wow, this is it. Yeah, because remember over here they switched out. They double switched here. So yeah, this is the same exact teams both ways. Oh my goodness.
And yeah, he doesn't throw the bone club. He's going straight for the ball. Yeah, this is a different game. Wow.
It played out exactly the same way game number 1.
Jiggly, I'm so sorry. You bring me onto the stream, and then I question you, and it was the last time I make that mistake. I apologize.
Why would we question Jiggly Dad?
Considering I had audio issues at the onset, I think that I'm always in question.
Well, we have game number 3 up right here. Ferrothorn into Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff switches out, and there we go.
Sorry.
Okay. So
here we go.
I think the fast move pressure was the idea here, but just a terrible lead situation into that Ferrothorn. The one thing you don't want to see, and then here comes Zweilous, the counter swap to the Skunk Tank, and he's already demonstrated if he pushes this to the 2 shields, he's gonna win this matchup. So again, really really bad news bears here for our opponent.
Yeah, you would think that the Skunk Tank, and this is best of 5. So in game number 3, you would think that maybe you should give the Skunk Tank a break. Joey thinking the Skunk Tank, I think he's trying to get that Azu slipping, and he's just not lining up that Skunk Tank with the Azu properly. Gottsi is probably reading the fact that Joey wants that Joey wants the Azu into the Skunk Tank, and he's not letting him have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we see maintaining swap advantage going to force the Melmetal out. I think your move here is you've got to try to catch some kind of charge energy here. Ice Beam is going to come through. That was only 5, I believe, maybe 5 or 6 bubbles. So it'll be telling whether or not Melmetal decides to shield here.
Yeah, he was 1 away from a Hydro Pump, but only fired on 6. In comes the Wigglytuff, and back in comes the Ferrothorn. Sunrise vibes right here, but it's not looking too good for the Wiggly though.
Yeah, I mean, both competitors here had strategies in mind. It's just such a shame that the lead situation turned out the way that it did. Allowing that through, I mean, Wigglytuff at that point is you kind of have to let it go.
Yeah, you have to let it go, but at the same time, you don't necessarily know what the Ferrothorn is running, and Flash Cannon just surprises him with 2 shields. And I don't know if Gottsi even needs to fire another charge move here.
Yeah.
Just wait until the clock comes back and then farm it down.
I definitely think that this game has kind of evolved into a fast move oriented win condition, because the bubbles are going to add up pretty quickly, and this Melmetal, I was about to say it had 2 shields, but it just dropped down to 1 shield. So again, trying to preserve Melmetal's health long enough, but keeping the different types of damage in mind going into this final matchup.
Yeah, and Gottsi preventing the farm down comes into Azu, and Azu can farm this down. Have we seen the second move from Melmetal yet? I don't think so. I think we just saw Rock Slide.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. He's just going to go ahead and let the Ice Beam go. I think kind of recognizing that the game had run its course. Again, really, really tough lead situation, but it doesn't get any better right here. Looks like we have an Alolan Marowak into Melmetal lead on the screen.
Yeah, and it looks like we get paused because we want to kind of take a couple seconds and talk about that previous match. The fact that Gottsi is just reading Joey like a book, and the leads that Gottsi is bringing, Joey can't call it. and he's losing the lead every time. And right now he's down 0-3, and I believe best of 5. Joey would take it. I mean,
Yeah,
Gottsi
and
would take it. I'm sorry.
oh, no worries at all. And we see this a lot. Some days in Go Battle League, you just have all the right cards to play. Sometimes in the Sylph Arena, you have all the right leads, and sometimes you don't. It just kind of happens this way. It doesn't mean you're a bad trainer or anything is wrong. It just means that at this particular moment, you and your opponent were on different pages, and just one of you was able to come out on top. So again, a really, really nice effort here by Gottsi, but these leads are rough, man. This is really, really tough.
Yeah.
Tough sledding coming back from this.
Yeah, and the lead we're looking at right now is probably the worst that we've seen. I mean, the Wiggly Tough you can kind of get around. This is trouble right here. As we go into game number 4, Alolan Marowak into the Melmetal. And let's see what Joey can do to dance around this one, the way the Marowak is dancing.
Instant swap into the Pelipper. I think that was by design. You're going to try to lure out this Ferrothorn here, and we learned that it was a Flash Cannon Power Whip variant, so you don't have to worry about the Thunder here. Pelipper can kind of trade blows with this Pokemon for at least a couple minutes.
Yeah, and Ferrothorn is obviously going to go straight Power Whip. Pelipper's going to throw Weather Ball here. There's no point in Hurricaning here because it would be neutral, but it would still hurt. But
oh, Hurricane! Wow.
He throws the Hurricane. Interesting. He's gonna go for the farm down. Does he get there? Oh no, he gets to the power up in time. But at this point, Pelipper can just shield and farm down.
I was gonna say, DJ, do you shield here? I think you do.
Yeah, you have to shield and farm down. You got to take the switch back because you don't want that. You don't want the Melmetal even looking at the Marowak with its one eye.
They're very, very nice there.
Yeah, in comes the Azu, and another. This is probably just a Weather Ball. It's probably not another Hurricane. Oh, it's another Hurricane.
Wow.
And Gottsi picks it up nicely, and he's gonna give up the switch and go into Wiggly, and in comes the Marowak. This is an interesting matchup here. Who wins this one?
Yeah, this is tough. Wigglytuff's charms are going to be resisted by the fire typing on Marowak. It just has to go straight bones. If it throws a Shadow Ball, that's really not the kind of energy usage you want to see out of this Pokemon. But we saw this in Rose Cup. If you remember from Sylph Season 2, Marowak normally handles this pretty well. I don't think Wigglytuff has enough energy advantage to really make a difference. But again, like you said, DJ, I think the mistake here was giving up Switch. Because if you just kind of let this play out RPS, you have a shot. But the force swap there kind of puts you in a tough spot.
Yeah, and I know you don't want to get farmed down. You don't want to give your opponent a lot of energy, but at the same time, sometimes you kind of have to allow it in order for the RPS, like you said, to play out. And by switching out, Joey kind of is probably going to lose this game here.
Yeah, going straight for the Bone Club. If that Pelipper had energy, it might have a chance to land the Weather Ball, but being without energy, here comes the Bone Club. I think, yeah, that's going to bring down Pelipper. He's hanging on to that single shield. Going to go straight for the Bone Club here. Sometimes as these matchups drag on, you can kind of get lost in the sauce and not sure how much energy your opponent has. So he is counting correctly, though, and does not shield. Here comes Azu at almost full health, and this is really tough sledding here.
Yeah, and Azu is out of shields. Gotsi's out of shields. We're probably going to see the second move. No, it's just another Rock Slide. So we can probably safely say that that Melmetal is running Superpower.
Mm-hmm.
And Azu's going to just go for the Ice Beam here. Try to pop the shield. There's the shield. He needs about 4 more for that Hydro Pump. Is he going to get there in time? This is just a Rock Slide. You can't Superpower here. And it looks like Azu's probably going to take this 2 more bubbles for the Hydro Pump, and that should do it. Gotsi's going to take this 4 games to 0 here.
Yeah, really, really nice play by Gottsi, calling the leads really well. These are 2 really good trainers, and I think it shows in their energy management. Gonna maybe get to 1 more move. No, not quite.
Oh, doesn't get. Oh.
But yeah, GG's to both of these battlers. Those are really good games. It's just so tough when you've got such an RPS kind of format, and you make 1 wrong move, and your opponent can really capitalize. Very, very well fought.
Yeah, well played on both ends. Sometimes, again, the RPS is just not in your favor. You flip heads, your opponent flips tails, and the referees just flip whatever they want, and there you go. But again, very well played, very well combated on both sides. Gottsi will take this one 4-0.
Yeah, and so my understanding of the way that played out was that they did not play the fifth, that things were going rather lopsided, and so they just decided that they did not want to play out the last one. So you can call that a 5-0, and
Okay.
I will bring up the next set. We're going to rotate off to our other casters. Thank you for the casting, gentlemen. If we can get Fish and 10 on the ball here. You guys. Hey. All right.
Yeah.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. So we are going to go now into the next set, which is going to be PolymersUp versus Nightmare, right?
Right. PolymersUp versus Nightmare. As we saw, Gottsi had a huge lead for Munchcats, so it's definitely up to Nightmare. Now, Nightmare in the previous set before Munchcats forced this final, did actually the PolymersUp versus Nightmare matchup ended up going all the way in Polymer's favor. So it's really up to Nightmare in this to come back. We can take a look at the teams. Do we have the teams up here? So let's see. PolymersUp is running Altaria, Registeel, Meganium, Vigoroth, Haunter, and Shadow Hypno. And Nightmare is running Umbreon, Skarmory, Escavalier, Rainy Cast Form, Whimsicott, and Deoxys Defense Form. Fish, what do you think about these teams?
Yeah, so my eye always gets immediately drawn to a Pokemon like a Shadow Hypno. With the I find a Pokemon like that so intriguing with its versatility. That thing could be running any sort of combination of moves, and because these Pokemon are locked in right at the beginning of the competition, you don't know which teams you're going to be coming up against in the final like this. Whatever PolymersUp chose for the Hypno to begin with, that's what he has to stick with for this matchup. So he's probably gonna be hoping for, I'd say, a Thunder Punch, but yeah, it could be running, one of the other ones, the Ice Punch. That might even be. I've seen a few Shadow Ball, Focus Blast varieties out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Shadow Hypno is such a versatile Pokemon with its moveset, and it makes it a really amazing draft pick because you can, after you've picked your whole team, you can really tailor it with its moves to whatever matches up best with the other Pokemon that you've ended up with. There are only really a few Pokemon I see here on both teams that have optional moves. One is Haunter, also on PolymersUp team, which usually is running that Punch Ball pairing, but obviously with the all ghost move set, sometimes you want the coverage of something like Sludge Bomb. So one of the interesting things is that because these two people had already played before, Nightmare might be aware of the Hypno's move set and be able to adjust maybe more easily. Now on Nightmare's side, the ones that I was looking at for different moves was Whimsicott, which can run two different fast moves, the Charm or the Razor Leaf, but both quite hard hitting, and as well the Deoxys Defense Form, which I would say normally runs the Rock Slide Thunderbolt, but can have that Psycho Boost as well. But so it'll be interesting to see which of these is which. One thing that stuck out to me as far as Nightmare's team was that there's certain Pokemon that have amazing matchups against the Polymers team, depending on shields. So something like Whimsicott with those hard-hitting fast moves, it has pretty darn good matchups most of the way or down the board. If let's say we assume Charm, so it can hit the Altaria for super effective. It can basically take everything in like a 2-shield scenario if it wants to, except for Registeel. And another one that I thought was interesting. So another one that I thought was interesting, just to say, is Skarmory, which I feel like has also really good matchups against Polymer's team if Polymer doesn't have shields. So to me, offhand, I was sort of thinking, oh, is there a way you can pair those and try to manipulate the shield situations to get an advantage that way? But obviously, Skarmory also loses hard to Registeel. So to me, Polymer's side, Registeel seems like a really important pick.
Yeah, which in turn will make the Escavalier a very important pick on Nightmare's side. I was also noticing on Polymer's side, I think that Altaria has really, really good matchups against a lot of this team. Obviously, the Deoxys will wear it down with those rock slides, and Whimsicott is going to be a hard counter. The other four, Altaria is pretty favorable against, so you might see, we all know how good a core Altaria and Registeel are together. You might see those two paired a fair bit in these battles.
Right. Yeah, that's a one of the cores that we see from like GBL. So it'll be interesting to see it in this more limited meta with the pick 6 and bring 3.
Ready when you gents are to play this one?
Absolutely. Let's go on to game 1.
I can't promise we'll end up singing Michael Jackson like we did the last pair, but we will definitely throw out some references.
This looks like from the previous matchup. This is
interesting strat bringing Pokemon that don't actually belong on their teams.
My apologies. All right.
All right, there's your
Altaria lead. And we are starting with the Rainy Cast Form first. So they're bringing up the switch window straight away, expecting that switch out. And we do get the switch. Oh, wow, that is a switch that you don't like to see very often. And that is the Deoxys D coming in against that Haunter now. So that Haunter is just, doesn't need to build up to the Shadow Ball, can just go straight Shadow Punches, and it looks like Nightmare has just gone, nope, I'm just going to get in and get out.
Yeah, this is such a terrible matchup. Obviously, Rock Slide doing an incredible amount of damage because Taunter is so freaking squishy, but it's not enough to KO. So Polymers can win this matchup without using any shields, and frankly, there's less to farm with whatever's coming in the back. We do see the Rainy Cast Form coming back, finishing off the Haunter really quick. It's not even able to get to that Shadow Ball that it looks like they tried to get to, but we already have seen the Altaria here, and it has a pretty good matchup. The best thing that Rainy Cast Form can hit the Altaria with is the Thunder, which is only neutral because of that Dragon typing. So I would say this is pretty solidly in Altaria's favor. Do you think maybe the cast form will switch out?
So it all depends on what Nightmare expects to see in the back. Obviously, because they've played 5 battles already, Nightmare will have a pretty decent clue on what kind of cores he is running. Goes for the switch out, and we see the Umbreon. What are we going to see? It's the Registeel. So this is still a good situation for PolymersUp here. Can just go straight Focus Blast with the 1 shield and should be able to take that out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this Registeel is looking pretty good. Even if this particular matchup, the Registeel goes down, the Altaria will definitely be able to finish off, I'd say, both Pokemon. The Registeel, huge, hard-hitting charge moves, definitely going to pressure the shields. We saw that last shield come up from Nightmare. So Nightmare's looking in a pretty difficult situation. They can definitely throw, these Dark-type moves. Foul Play, Last Resort, I assume, is the move set on the Umbreon.
Can they try and catch a Focus Blast?
Oh, that would be
I think they did. Was that a switch?
I didn't see a switch there. I mean, I guess Cast Form, it's sort of dead weight.
No, never mind. Just trying to inject a bit of a thriller into it.
Yeah, and man, Registeel's, Polymer's still holding on to that shield. I think they know that it doesn't necessarily need to use any shields on Registeel. If it just saves it for this Altaria, the Altaria can pretty much just sweep from here. So this Altaria is locked in, but it can take out the last 2 Pokemon without too much trouble. That Sky Attack pretty much KOing the cast form, and then only left with the Umbreon, which will also go down to a single Sky Attack. But we see here Nightmare fighting to the end. Is Polymers going to give up their last shield? No, they don't. They're going for that.
Flex.
Flex, ending with the shield. Not able to get to a final Foul Play. So Altaria winning it here. So yeah, that Altaria coming in absolutely clutch for Polymers. Nightmare will absolutely have to adjust to try to see if they can manage that with the Registeel in the back. Quite a threat.
Yeah. The Whimsicott is probably going to be a very important Pokemon, as we kind of discussed before the battle started. I usually see Whimsicots being used in a lead situation. I don't see him nearly as much in the back.
Right.
But maybe PolymersUp might predict that and switch that up. So the best thing I can hope for is to keep that Altaria lead.
I do think that it made a lot of sense for Nightmare to bring that Deoxys defense form, because the Deoxys really breaks up with the counter and the Rock Slide moveset this Altaria Registeel core. But in this particular first game, they were able to match it up with the worst possible thing. So they just weren't able to utilize it to their advantage. But if they can match up that Deoxys in these further matches, they might be able to switch some of those into their favor.
And that's a strategy that I really enjoy seeing play out, is the really hard counter to a safe switch. So you see, you would have been seeing with Sunrise Cup all of this month how Vigoroth, huge safe switch until you see a Drifblim on the opposing team. Suddenly, that strategy is completely broken up because they try and switch into the Vigoroth, and then it all goes really bad really quickly. And same thing with that Deoxys and the Haunter. That Haunter just does that really nice job of completely getting rid of a safe switch option.
Yeah, so it brings it down to basically being Nightmare really has to win the lead in order to keep up with, they can make a well-balanced team, but if they don't get the lead and Polymers brings a well-balanced team as well, they might be able to get hard countered like we just saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe just, take the risk that Polymers doesn't bring the Haunter, which is always an option. But yeah, you are you're playing with fire.
Absolutely. Let's go on to game 2.
First, we've got to see this Altaria finish the Sky. Oh no, here it is. We got.
Game 2.
We're assuming game 2. We got that lead again. We've got the same three Pokemon. And the Deoxys comes out. There's the Haunter again.
Oh, man. Just like we saw in that first matchup, this game 2 playing out pretty much exactly like the game 1 so far. Let's see.
Did the Haunter build up a little bit more energy that time?
I'm not sure. We see the Rock Slide coming out from the Deoxys defense form once again, and a no shield once again doing that incredible amount of damage. But those counters double resisted, not going to do anything, and Deoxys not going to be able to get to another move before getting Shadow Claw down. Do we see the cast form come out like we did before?
Let's see if we can get a charge move off this time. Going for that Shadow Ball again. I'm suspicious, Jiggly Dad. That's exactly what happened last time. Tried to get to that Shadow Ball, couldn't quite get there. The Water Guns took it out. Okay, so we have the Altaria coming back in, throws the Sky Attack. This will take it into the yellow. That cast form is, I'm going to predict a switch out into an Umbreon, I'm going to say. Coming soon. We do use a shield on one side.
Do we see the shield again? Altaria did shield this in the first game. They do again. So avoiding, okay. So this is game 2 apparently, and they did both bring the same teams again. So we're gonna see probably the same situation. Registeel probably not gonna be shielded, just pressuring those shields with the super effective Focus Blast. Focus Blast probably the way to go on both Pokemon, although the cast form in the back, relatively low. So I suppose if it needed to be, it could be Flash Cannon. But honestly, I still think that this Altaria is going to be able to sweep this game with that shield, and there's no reason to shield.
So if this is indeed game 2, like we've been promised, that would put Team Munchcats and Chill up 7-0 already in this final, and that's incredible because they came up through the losers bracket, so they have had to win twice against this PGBL team. So I mean, they are doing a fantastic job at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is pretty incredible play from Munchcats, coming back, threatening a total win of this Battle of the Servers. We got this video paused or frozen here. Registeel's stuck in a state of, oh, here we go. So this is, I assume, the end
Hold
of.
on. Sorry, what? I heard you guys announce a result, and so I wasn't actually looking right at the screen.
Okay.
Trying to stop it from going to the next
So we
one.
were wondering, we had the same situation in this set that we did in the last one, where Battle 2 looked remarkably similar to Battle 1. So we were suspicious of you again, Julie.
But the people in the chat were definitely saying that it was game 2. So it looks like basically just the same situation as that first set, where game 2 ran out almost exactly like game 1.
All right, let's just move on to game 3, because I don't know if I can find the spot that you guys were at exactly.
Oh, no worries.
Oh no, yeah, that's fine. The game was pretty much done anyway. That's what we were basically saying. It's it played out in a way that there was really not much that Nightmare could do unless they suddenly got like Dialga in their team.
All right, going on to match 3 here.
All right, game 3. Let's see if there can be an adjustment.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Here we go.
Okay. Here it is. It's a Haunter lead this time.
Oh, okay. Expecting the Deoxys to come out.
So the Haunter, it is the same team, just a different order. So Altaria switch out. The cast form staying in quite a while. Do you think this is a Weather Ball or a Thunder? I mean, Weather Ball probably not that threatening. Yeah.
Yeah, it is just a Weather Ball. So
unshielded Weather Ball, but then a switch out to Umbreon. Oh, wow. So possibly not bringing the Deoxys defense form this time. Too scared of the Haunter, which was brought. So let's see what the Haunter ends up matched up with. The Umbreon to Altaria matchup, fairly neutral. I mean, Altaria definitely pressuring. This one doesn't have Dazzling Gleam, for example, so it can't hit for super effective. And Umbreon, as we all know, is an absolute tank. So really tanking these like a champ. I mean, I guess that Weather Ball did give a slight HP advantage. How significant do you think that is in this particular matchup?
The HP advantage in this particular matchup, it can make a bit of a difference. So I think that the Weather Ball with the water guns in between would have been enough to make it one less foul play needed from the Umbreon. So if Polymers wants to win this particular matchup and maybe win switch advantage, might have to spend shields to do it. So we're going to see what's more important at the moment to Polymers out of the shield advantage or switch advantage.
Yeah, but Polymers can double shield here and take switch, I believe, unless this Umbreon has more energy than I'm aware of. But they choose to save the shield. Yeah. Registeel coming out. This is going to be a foul play, but I mean, Registeel also not particularly afraid of at least a single foul play. Looks like they're going to just lock on down the Umbreon. Oh man, now this Registeel has quite a bit of energy, and as we know, it really is a huge. Oh, they did bring the Deoxys defense form. Oh wow.
Okay,
but
so
Nightmare
really
able to avoid the Haunter again. So really saving that Deoxys for this Registeel. It's countering down. Looks like there's a thought of switching. Let's see. What was the move that the Deoxys just threw? How's it doing here? Oh, it is throwing the Thunderbolts. So I would expect it's the Thunderbolt Rock Slide variant. This Flash Cannon coming in. I think this will pressure that last shield from Nightmare. So let's see what they do here. They don't shield. And
we get the instant switch. Wow, so that was incredible. So the Polymers was hoping to get that Shadow Claw to feint the Deoxys down, but Nightmare had other ideas. So switched out that Pokemon at the same time. So now this Weather Ball is going to be doing damage a bit faster than that Shadow Claw can do. However, here comes the Shadow Punch. And this is going to make things a little bit harder for the cast form.
Yeah, absolutely. But Nightmare did save that shield specifically for the cast form, and it looks like having saved the shield and being able to use that incredibly oppressive water gun damage, and they are barely able to pull out that matchup. Although with the Registeel, oh wow!
Oh no, that was so close. Just would it have been one lock on? No, I mean it had to be more than one lock on. Otherwise, the lock on
but
would have
Nightmare
gone
doing an incredibly good job of charging up energy to be able to use the cast form on both of the final Pokemon, both the Haunter and the Registeel, and taking that game 3. Well played, and looking to make a comeback here. So let's see
PGBL on board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we saw, the Deoxys was able to find a much better matchup, right, than that Haunter. So avoiding that Haunter with the Deoxys definitely came in handy for Nightmare in that particular match.
Yeah, absolutely. And that the play of the day was that Shadow Punch just leaving enough HP left on that cast form so that it was able to, like I was so kind of talking over you before to do. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
When that Registeel came in, because Lock On is a 1-turn fast move, that damage registers instantly. So if it had literally 1 HP left, then the cast form would have fainted before being able to get that charge move out. So it had a little bit more than that, just enough. I'd say 1.5 HP. I'll say.
I mean, cast form it's pretty tanky. So doing something like lock on, trying to lock on down a cast form, that's pretty tough. So let's see if they
when you've got like no HP bar left.
I mean, they've definitely been favoring this cast form in these first 3 matches. So let's see if Nightmare keeps it, and if Polymer tries to come up with maybe a different counter, or if they stick with the same team of Altaria, Registeel, and Haunter in Game 4.
Very interested to see that we haven't seen the Whimsicott yet on Nightmare. So.
Wow!
Wow!
Okay, Vigoroth into Deoxys Defense. This is not a good matchup for Vigoroth. Switching immediately into Altaria. But man, I mean, Rock Slide hits pretty darn hard. It won't KO, but it's going to do a lot of damage. Do you think that Nightmare brought a better counter for Altaria? Oh wow!
No.
Well, they gave themselves that HP advantage, like we saw in the previous game, and honestly, more of an HP advantage here. The Umbreon coming in, avoiding, at least for the moment, that Vigoroth, which will be doing super effective damage with the counters. And the Umbreon might not have to shield anything, potentially, depending on how Polymer shields here to win switchback, or keep switch, I guess I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Umbreon kind of wants to be on as low HP as possible when that Altaria goes down. You can see that foul play. I think that was a bit of an undercharge there, actually, because Nightmare wanted that Umbreon. Wow, what a farm down. That is crazy.
Umbreon has so much energy, and I presume this Vigoroth is coming back, but honestly, it could be the Registeel to
get
absorb.
Much energy.
It is the Registeel to absorb those foul plays.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, we saw a Registeel lock-on farm down in the previous game, but this Umbreon, it's so tanky. It's going to be able to get off, I presume, at least another foul play after this before that happens. So I wonder what the Registeel will do in this situation. It looks like they're just staying in. Are they going to go for the super aggressive farm down?
I would probably go for it myself. Maybe even if I have to spend a shield, because that's such a huge investment of energy to get that KO.
Yeah, I mean, Snarl not... Ooh, a little bit of lag maybe. Snarl not doing...
Oh, excellent work. That is a good move. Even better, just getting that counter.
No shields used on either side, but we do have this Deoxys now being locked in against the Vigoroth. This is really good for Nightmare because... the counters from the Vigoroth are doing resisted damage, but the counters from the Deoxys are doing super effective damage. So, frankly, it's going to be going down quite a bit faster. The Vigoroth is going to be going down quite a bit faster, but again, they have both shields, and that body spam coming in clutch. I mean, it's just coming in crazy hot. Going to be pressuring the shields from the other side as well.
Yeah, and so the Deoxys is definitely within flash cannon range here, so potentially the Registeel can come back in. and finish that off. But Deoxys does still have the shield left. Potentially, you might see the shield here and then try and get to another body slam to get that last shield off of Nightmare. Farming up a bit more energy. Oh, now we get the switch and tries to go for the flash cannon, gets it through. Okay, so this is going to take that last shield. But the problem is Nightmare can now... Oh, no, it doesn't shield.
Doesn't shield.
Just lets it go. So now we got Cast Form. That's going to finish it off.
Wow. Oh, managing to get that Focus Blast. I mean, this will do quite a bit. But honestly, as we saw...
Still in
here. I mean... Oh, not even shielding the Focus Blast. Doing quite a bit, but I mean, we've seen this cast for... I mean, it's so tanky. It could probably take this Body Slam if it had to, and Water Gun down, but does use the shield there. Oh, and has a move. So again, having that clutch cast form at the end of the match, really doing really well to I guess, you know, Nightmare at a certain point, they knew once they'd seen all of Polymer's team that cast form was really safe in the back and could pretty much just sweep it, especially with that extra shield. So nice job from Nightmare there, tying it up, right? 2-2.
Yeah. Made us sweat for it though, because there was a lot of crazy switching and energy management going on even in the last moments of that battle, which were really exciting to see.
Absolutely. So let's see if Nightmare can get a third win here. Their team is still overall down, but this win in the last match of this second matchup would definitely be good to help out the PGBL team.
Yeah, and as we established, PolymersUp last round went 5-0, so Nightmare has absolutely redeemed himself in this situation.
Yeah, so struggling at the beginning, but doing a great job of adjusting for these final matches. Let's see how they do in Game 5.
All right, we're going back to Altaria, and there it is. Finally, that's what we were looking for. There's the Whimsicott, and Altaria is just gonna beat it.
It is running charm. Oh man!
Wow, it's not getting out of there. It's building up some energy. Going for the Sky Attack.
The Sky Attack will do a ton of damage. So like I was saying before, I mean, the Whimsicott does need the shields, but they have the shields. It's the opening matchup, and it looks like Polymers is just sacking the Altaria completely. So just taking that switch advantage or that shield advantage, but completely losing switch. They do have
I'm thinking Redisteel comes out, safe switch to the Deoxys, and then that's when we bring out Haunter.
I think save. Whoa.
Oh, went straight with Haunter.
Haunter coming in. I mean, both are going to be pressuring shields, right? But Haunter is so squishy that
leaves that alone, saving the 2 shields for the Redisteel. And I can see in my Google Hangout screen here, Speedy's Chief is just shaking his head and squinting at the screen like, what did I just watch? Okay, so this Grass Knot's going to come through now. Yep, go on, 10.
I assume not shielded here, but the thing is, like, if Nightmare brought a counter user, like either the Escavalier or the Deoxys defense, I mean, at a certain HP, Registeel just can't come back from getting completely
absolutely, even with those 2 shields.
So did they bring one of the counter users? They did bring Deoxys.
And there's Deoxys, and this is going to be over. There is no way that. So like it'll take. Does it take 2 or 3 flash cannons to take out the Deoxys? I think it's 3 and plus.
I think it is 3, and I mean, honestly, they still have a shield. The lock-ons are not doing. I mean, another one would do a lot, but man, getting totally countered down. Amazing call by Nightmare in that last match, getting the Whimsicott matched up against that Altaria lead. That's fantastic.
And so try and justify the play here on Polymer's side. What were they thinking? Letting the Altaria go down, not shielding the Grass Knot on the Haunter. I think those are the 2 big plays.
Yeah, I mean, letting the Altaria go down, I could see potentially if they're just saving shields for the matchups in the back when they're not in such a terrible position. But honestly, bringing in Haunter and then not shielding it, I'm sort of at a loss. So that was absolutely dominating play from Nightmare in the final game, and making a good adjustment, coming out with a positive set against Polymers and giving their team a few wins before going into these this third matchup of the finals.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you, gents, for the call on those. That was definitely an interesting set, and we are going to bring back in Speediest and DJ to take on the vTenacity versus twastell matchup next, and we will first bring up the vTenacity team for them to look at, the twastell team, and then we will get underway. So do we have our casters back? I know that Speedy had his eyes bugging out, according to one of you, but I hear DJ, so I think that we are all ready to go. Let's see.
Matchup there.
Sorry, they're telling me that.
Sorry, guys,
they're telling me that I screwed up
audio.
the audio there. Sorry, on the entire team frame there.
Oh, what's going on?
Apparently the audio was cut on that particular scene. So, sorry, we're back up.
Okay.
Oh man, you missed some great analysis, guys.
So where did we lose everybody? Where do I need to pick up?
I think right where I put vTenacity's team on screen. So
we didn't hear anything, guys. So start from the top all over again on your analysis.
We need the Spark Notes version.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I think we got cut off when I was looking at vTenacity's team. So yeah, I had run down the team, and then you had run down the twastell's team. I don't know how
there it is.
Yeah. But so yeah, again, vTenacity is running Venusaur, Alolan Marowak, Azu, Shadow Obama Snows, Stunfisk, which is the Unova version, and an Obstagoon. And Speedy, what is Twastell running there?
Yeah, Twastell, Twastell. He's running Galarian Stunfisk, Cresselia, Driftblim, Scrafty, Shadow, Zapdos, and Venusaur. So again, both of these battlers running Venusaur, which before Ferrothorn, a lot of people called the king of the grass types. I think that's debatable at this point. Ferrothorn is just so good. But there are a couple of shadows here that stand out: Shadow Abomisto and Shadow Zapdos. Neither of those appreciate each other very much, and it's really good, kind of a knife fight between those two. Whoever lands the Weather Ball or the Drill Peck is probably going to come out on top. One Pokemon I see that's a big problem for Tenacity's team is that Scrafty, though, DJ. How do you feel about Scrafty, and if you're Tenacity, how do you stop it?
Scrafty is a huge problem, and again, it's a problem in GBL, especially when it gets going, and especially the power-up punches. You land 2 power punches, even if they get shielded, the foul play will just smoke you in the end. So there's the only way around it is Azu. You have to kind of line up. Tenacity has to find a way to line up the Azu with Scrafty to wall it. You don't want the Abomasnow on it. Abomasnow will just get melted away. Stunfisk can hang for a little bit, but you don't want to have to go into a 1 or 2 shield situation against that Scrafty. And Venusaur can kind of hang, but again, you don't want to get in a situation where Scrafty's +2 and then smokes a foul play at you, and there goes your Pokemon. So I see vTenacity bringing Azu. If we go 5 matches, Azu will be in at least 3 or 4 times. And as you've seen from the previous 2 games, there's been a lot of copy pasta. Everyone's bringing the teams from game number 1, bringing it into game number 2. And in the case of the previous game, the previous round, there was game number 3, but it was the same Pokemon, just in different orders. So, Speedy, I would think, Azu would come in the lead here to kind of, let Twastell know that, listen, I got Azu, don't bring that Scrafty, or else we're going to have some problems.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way things are in draft formats a lot of the time. There's probably only 3 or 4 Pokemon on your team that are going to be optimal against your opponent. So a lot of it comes down to guessing the leads. Does Twastell just go straight Scrafty in the lead and just say, this is what I got, do your best to stop it, because he's got a 1 in 6 chance of getting it right? Or does he actually just kind of flip that logic on his head and put Scrafty in the back, remove the Azumarill, and then just sweep? So again, both of these are very talented battlers. I faced vTenacity in a freestyle tournament in season 2. I believe he's a battler out of California, if I'm not mistaken. A really exceptional battler. I think he went on to tie for the win in that tournament. And then we all know Twastell. I'm going to give him a little bit of heat for not picking up Frostlass onto his draft team. I mean, he's on Twitter talking about Frostlass all the time, but we don't see it here. So we'll see how the matches turn out before I make my final judgment.
Yeah, and if I'm vTenacity, like I said, I would lead Azu at least once, but you don't want to lead it every time and get predictable. So if I were vTenacity, I would probably, I think I would be safe leading Venusaur, because you won't have a Scrafty problem big time. Cresselia, you could kind of get away with it if it's not running Confusion, if it's running Cycle Cut, but most of the Great League Cresselias run Confusion. So it could be a problem, and I feel like Twastell would run Confusion. But the charge moves, no, not because he's Twastell.
Yeah, Twastell seems very confused. I'm just kidding.
But I feel like Venusaur would be kind of safe here. You got the Driftblim, which would kind of, keep you down with the Icy Wind, and Scrafty's not really a problem. I feel like Venusaur is very safe as a lead here.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to go?
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We have Abomasnow into Cresselia. Interesting matchup here.
Yeah, so again, neither of the leads that we talked about, both of these trainers trying to outthink each other, probably expecting the Azumarill. He leads with that Abomasnow. Going to go ahead and throw the Weather Ball here against the Cresselia. I don't think this does much damage, DJ.
Yeah, that's not going to do that much. He'll need about 3 more before Cresselia faints. Gonna shield here. Let's see what the moveset Cresselia is running here, running Moonblast. And remember I mentioned Confusion. It's actually running Psycho Cut. So that's actually better for Venusaur a little bit.
Yeah, Shadow, Abomasnow going for the knockout blow here with the energy ball. If this gets shielded, it's going to set him back a little bit in terms of energy, but if it lands, it probably will KO. Oh, it's extremely close.
1 HP and gets the extra powder snow in there. And switches
here
out
it
right
comes.
away. There's the Scrafty and there's the Venusaur. Unfortunately, twastell is able to switch out into the Drifblim, and this is the matchup we were talking about earlier.
This is I'm sorry,
yeah.
DJ. This is so clever. The force swap is sacrificing Venusaur is so clever because then you get Shadow Abomasnow here against Drifblim, and you're able to mop up Azu versus Scrafty. So really nice play by vTenacity, kind of the puppet master here, if you will, organizing this lineup here.
Yeah, and those frenzy plants, you would think of the Ultra League Premier matchup. That frenzy plant does a lot of damage onto the Drifblim, and it's going to apply a lot of pressure anyway. Not shielding anyway, and still has 2 shields, and down goes Venusaur. And Abomasnow can just mop this up, and then but you don't want Scrafty to farm down the Abomasnow. So would you just bring Azu here? No.
No, I think the switch timer is in a position where he's pretty safe. It's also good that Drifblim is going to spend some energy here. Shadow Ball probably dumped all of its energy. Farm down is safe. This is perfectly fine. I think even boosted foul plays, Scrafty probably needs maybe 4 boosted foul plays to kill an Azu. So this is pretty comfortable, even though there are shields in the way and the counters are going to add up. I think Azu's got this.
Yeah, Scrafty has an extra shield up though in the Azu though, so this is gonna be. I feel like this might be closer than it looks. The first, I believe that was a power punch, the first move, and here comes another one. So now we're at +2 on the Scrafty, and Azu's just going to. He's probably just going to go straight Ice Beam here, I would think.
Yeah, Ice Beam definitely more energy efficient. As the bubbles start to add up, the Ice Beam is going to put it within KO range. I think the key here is just shield the foul play. I think you're right, DJ. It is going to be closer than initially it looked. But again, if you shield the foul play, it's GG's.
And shields the power punch. You hate to see it. Oh my goodness. Does he? No, he's not going to go straight Hydro Pump here. He's just going to Ice Beam. Continue the Ice Beam. Still has a shield left on the Scrafty, but should be able to get into knockout range, like you said, with the bubbles.
Now it's a race to the foul play, and Azu is going to lose that race. Is foul play going to be enough? It's 3 times boosted. This is going to be really, really devastating.
This is going to be close. Oh, 1 HP, and does it get to the?
Oh my gosh! I feel like twastell almost stopped tapping there or something.
Yeah, I saw a little delay. Like 1 turn was missed there in the But even so, even if you miss a turn, the moves would have synchronized because the counter is 2 turns and the bubble is 3 turns. So even if Scrafty missed a turn, the 2 moves would have synchronized and Azu would have been knocked out anyway there.
Yeah, I mean, not giving twastell enough credit here. He definitely played that Scrafty matchup really well. With the 2 shields against this team, Scrafty is such a headache for vTenacity. As we saw, those counters added up really quickly, and then the foul play to just end it was almost enough, but he needed just 1 or 2 more counters to finish it off.
Yeah, Scrafty counters Azu confirmed, as you can see there. And wow, what a match there. vTenacity, he tried his best. He tried to line it up, and we got the exact lineups that we described in the pregame. But when you get Scrafty going, Scrafty gets going. Like you can't get that Scrafty to +3, and plus, Azu shielding that power punch kind of helps Scrafty. Azu could have saved that shield and called the bait there, but Tenacity not unable to call the bait and get smoked by the foul play.
Yeah, and I think we just saw we got a glimpse into the strategies here. I think twastell recognized that the 2 shielded Scrafty was going to be almost overwhelming for anything else on vTenacity's team. So I think going forward, vTenacity needs to find a way to maybe lure out the Scrafty so he's not dealing with it in the 11th hour when the stakes are at their highest.
Right, and especially with 2 shields, you saw that shield deficit kind of proved that Azu to go down. So Let's see how both players counteract what happened in the first game, and let's go into game number 2. We have Obama Snow into Cresselia. Here we go again, repeat match before, and we already know Cycle Cut and Moonblast on the Cresselia, and standard moveset on the Shadow Obama Snow. Looks like we're gonna go straight Energy Ball here. In the first game, he went Weather Ball. Now he's gonna go straight Energy Ball. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, definitely changing it up, trying to get a little early edge in terms of.
And the defense fell.
Woo!
10% chance and defense goes down. This is not good for that Cresselia at all.
Yeah, this is bad. And for Twastell as well, if he swaps in that Scrafty, the Azu is going to come out to answer it. So he can't afford to give up switch advantage this early.
Yeah, unfortunately, Obama Snow, you're going to need both shields if you want to keep switch. But looks like just going to let it go. And in comes the Scrafty, not wanting to get farmed down. And here comes the Venusaur. And switch, just like we saw in the first game, we have Driftblim into Venusaur. And this is not Ultra Premier, like we said. These Frenzy Plants will hurt.
And this is just a beautiful kind of tug of war of strategies. If you got a peek right there, DJ, I think that he is packing that Shadow Zapdos, which is the Drill Pecks are going to do massive damage to Scrafty. So again, finding a different way to beat that Pokemon with a different type of Pokemon. But man, just the push and the pull in this matchup is just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, this is amazing to see, the strategy play out, the chess game play out in the same exact fashion, and then one person does a twist and flips the entire game around.
Oh, it's Azu.
My apologies. Yeah, that's the shiny Azu blinding both of us there.
Oh, Twastell's got the Zapdos. My apologies.
Right. This is probably, you could throw anything here. Icy Wind will KO here. Just let it go. No shields have been expended on both sides. So now Azu's going to get a nice farm there, get 2 bubbles in, and here comes the Scrafty. Now, here's the difference.
Yes.
We got 2 shields on both sides. No shield deficit this time. So also, you already know that Scrafty's going to be baiting a bunch of times. So how long do you hold those shields on Azu before you start shielding?
Yeah, you have to be wary of a early foul play to try to reduce your health, and then the subsequent counters would add up pretty quickly. But as you can see there, the first shield coming out, and I have a lot of respect for vTenacity not showing his second move, going straight for the Ice Beams here, kind of hiding the Hydro Pump, although it would be the right move here against Scrafty. In this particular situation, you don't always want to go for super effective. You want to work on your energy management, and Ice Beam with the subsequent bubble damage is going to be just enough.
And as you can see here, the bubble damage is adding up along with the Ice Beams. Shields are down for the Scrafty. He's picking up his pants. He's like, okay, my shields are down. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. But just throws a Power Punch, and very, very well played by vTenacity to not shield there. Although he is down, so he's going to have to start shielding here. Even though I believe he needs 1 more Power Punch. He's at +4. On his right now. He's reaching for the Hydro Pump. Is he going to get there in time? He does.
Look at how close that was.
That was close. That was very close. I'm pretty sure Twastell was on that foul play, ready to smoke it, and did not get it in time. vTenacity is going to take this one, and this goes 1-1 here.
Wow.
Amazing play. vTenacity holding the shield this time, seeing how the match played out in the beginning in the first game, and said, I'm going to hold the shield for the second game. Actually gets an energy advantage on his Azu for the Scrafty, and it works well in vTenacity's favor.
Yeah, at this point, you can almost always just predict that Scrafty is going to come, so you can kind of build your game plan around it. That's just the double-edged sword nature of a draft match like this. When you see a key Pokemon on your opponent's team, you can generally expect it to come, but if your opponent changes something up and doesn't bring the Scrafty, doesn't bring the Azu, it could have massive implications for the rest of the set.
Yeah, definitely. You have to plan. As we said before, the Scrafty is a problem for the team. When you have a team of 6 and you know what it is, and you know one Pokemon is a problem, you have to bring counters for it. And vTenacity, like I said, Azu's going to come about 3 out of 4 times, three to 4 out of 5 times in this game. And we've seen it twice. And as you can see in upcoming game number 3, you're going to see it one more time. So here we go. Game number 3. We're going to have the Azu into the Cresselia this time. vTenacity switching up the lead here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, but we've only seen Moonblast, right? Have we seen Grass Knot?
That is correct. We have not seen the second move on this Cresselia. We don't know. It's actually pretty underpowered at 1475. So for all we know, it could be one of those, the one that we got for free. So let's see what happens here. Going straight to the Hydro Pump.
Yeah, straight for the Hydro Pump. Your moveset's been revealed, so I definitely think that's a smart move. That Hydro Pump took a nice chunk of damage, and this Cresselia has energy for days. Kind of makes you wonder if this is a future sight coming in. And
there it is. There it is, a future sight. I love the no shield on vTenacity, saying, here, hit me. I don't believe you have a Grass Knot at all. And twastell takes it. So he's gonna shield here now and just goes for the Moonblast, and no defense. No attack fall there. Going for the Hydro Pump again. I would expect the shield here. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ice Beam is probably a fair move there as well, because you want to maintain your energy. But man, yeah, they played chicken. vTenacity putting a ton of pressure on twastell, but twastell does not budge. In comes the Drifblim going straight for the Shadow Ball. I think this is pretty much, he wants that final shield, expecting that Scrafty to be in the back. He switched out the Azu to keep it healthy, which I think is very, very smart.
Yeah, that is super smart. And you can see that I wouldn't shield here.
No. I think you come in Abomasnow, you farm down.
Yeah, you're going to farm this all the way down. You can shield once. You still have the Cresselia to deal with. And I believe actually the Cresselia does have a little bit of energy, so you do have to worry about that. And
okay, yeah.
Anyone's guess as to what's in the back here for twastell.
Yeah, very, very nice shield by Abomasnow. vTenacity taking his Snowman to the limit. He was counting those hexes. He knows one more would have led to the Icy Wind, so he's going to go ahead and pull the trigger. I assume, yeah, here comes a Scrafty, going to switch right into Azu. And here comes the counter swap into Cresselia with energy, just like you said, DJ.
Yep, there it is. Ready. I would assume that's a Moonblast. This won't KO, but you don't want to you're going to have no choice but to get farmed down here. And I believe just farm Azu all the way down. Does he get to a move? He's not firing. Why doesn't he fire? That's interesting.
Because at this juncture, I think you want energy on Abomasnow to throw as many attacks at that Scrafty as you possibly can. Scrafty is out of energy. It needs a few counters to work up. Cresselia is also out of energy, so he's got some play here, but it's gonna be really close, DJ.
Really smart by vTenacity, not firing a move, saving the farm down for the Abomasnow, gets the farm down, and he's going to smoke the energy ball, and that should take about half. Ooh, that does so much damage.
You got to get to one weather ball. No, he's not able to.
Wait, is it a pup, though?
It's a pup, but I don't think it KOs.
Yeah, shouldn't KO. There's the pup. He needs one more weather ball to get it. And no, he doesn't get it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
He was tapping the weather ball and just goes down. Wow. Very well played on both sides. Very well played. You love to see the matches that comes down to everyone pressing a charge move but doesn't get it, or getting the move in time. That was amazing. Very well played.
Yeah, and DJ, there's a rule that a lot of battlers follow, and that rule is if you leave a matchup, if you swap out of something, don't leave empty-handed. You want to leave with energy so that you can hit whatever comes in next with a little more acceleration, a little more quickly than you normally would. So the energy these trainers are banking as they leave matchups is very, very important, because once you get back into another situation, you need to be able to fire off your moves, and leaving with zero energy, as we saw, is really, really tough.
Yeah, and that Cresselia bank was huge. That Cresselia bank was huge because he just brought it right out, and it was able to flip the match and help him clean up for sure. So do we have one more battle here? Because these are amazing right now.
Yeah, these are great. I could do this all night.
Yeah, all night long.
I think
Here we
two
go.
more, right? We're at 8-5, so we got 2 more to get to 15. So I think we are on battle number 4 of this set now.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, Obama Snow again into Cresselia again. Obama Snow has come out 3 out of 4 times in this game here, and we're gonna stay in here. Let's see. He's reaching for the energy ball again. How would vTenacity play this differently?
Yeah, I just want to make the comment real quick, DJ. We're not seeing Scrafty and Azu leads. Both of these battlers keeping them in the back to deal with each other in the late game, and we do see that early shield and no defense drop. So this is very different from the previous 2 matchups we've seen.
Yeah, because the previous game that went unshielded. So Twastell learning his lesson and not doing. Ooh, that Moonblast does so much damage. Switching out into Venusaur and reaching for the Frenzy Plant. I don't know if Venusaur can is going to take this down like very fast. So you're going to need about 3 Frenzy Plants here.
Yeah, this is really tricky. I think this is another attempt to lure out the Drifblim, and here it comes.
There it is.
Just like we talked about in the previous game, though, DJ, that Cresselia left with a lot of energy. So definitely going to be a threat when it comes back in. Yeah, I mean, he lured out the Drifblim just like he wanted to. I think he's going to try to opt for a farm down situation, just like we've seen a few times. And it's just so wild to see the same strategy play out in different ways in each game.
And I believe we've had 3 different shielding scenarios, because in this scenario, vTenacity has 2 shields, Twastell only has 1.
Oh, clutch Frenzy Plant here at the very end.
Nice.
I don't think we see a shield, though, DJ. What do you think?
No, just let it go. There's no point.
Yeah.
And even then, you won't be able to farm down anyway. So the same situation is going to play out. Obama Snow comes in.
I'm calling a Shadow Ball right here.
It's definitely a Shadow Ball.
Oh,
icy wind.
Sorry, I led you astray.
Fine. But you still get the farm down anyway, and now we're in a 1-in-1 shield scenario. There's a Scrafty, and here comes the Azu. Now we've had 2 different scenarios here, but in comes the Cresselia with energy. We already know it's not a Grass Knot, so likely to just take it? No, just shields it. What do you think? Farm this all the way down?
I don't think you want to take a future sight. You want to think in terms of relative damage, and even a triple boosted foul play would do less than a future sight. So I think you want this Cresselia off the battlefield, and he knows that. So he is going to go ahead and shield up here, trying to eke out some kind of health advantage. As we saw in the previous game, this was a lot closer when these 2 faced up last time. Here comes a Moonblast, hoping for the debuff, and he's not going to get it. And look at this, DJ. Cresselia just will not go away.
He's going to get one more move off on the Cresselia. No, he doesn't. Oh my goodness.
Both of these battlers pushing their Pokemon to the absolute limits. Cresselia unable to get that final move, and that means the Hydro Pump is queued up.
Yeah, and that's going to do a lot to the Scrafty. This is not necessarily over yet. Scrafty can Power Punch maybe twice. Actually, this is going to be close. Obama Snow with energy comes in. And just like you said, Speedy, bank those moves. They come back clutch.
That was almost really bad. If he was 1 Powder Snow different, he would have gotten countered down, given Scrafty even more fuel, but he's able to play that perfectly to seal that win. These are great games, DJ.
These are 500 IQ chess plays that only the top battlers will give you here. This is an amazing display from these 2 going on here. I believe we have 1 more game left on this one, so we're gonna double check.
Yes, we do.
And yeah, we do. So we've seen here. Let's set this up. We've seen 4 games play out pretty much the same exact Pokemon. I don't think I've seen anything different. I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure we've seen the Azu, we've seen the Venusaur, and we've seen the Obama Snow. We saw the Marowak once. We haven't seen anything else from vTenacity. No Stunfisk, no Obstagoon. They have no play here. We've seen from Twastell, we've seen the Scrafty every game. We've seen the Drifblim every game. We've seen the Cresselia every game. We have yet to see that Shadow Zapdos that I know you are raring to see. You want to see that Shadow Obama Snow into Shadow Zapdos. I don't think we're going to see it, unfortunately. But
I don't know. It just sounds right for the taking. You think Abomasnow, you think Azu, DrillPeck, Thunderbolt. It just seems like the perfect setup. Do you think we'll see it in this final game?
I mean, do we think twastell would like to spice it up? I mean, we are 2-2 right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is when all your cards are on the table. And again, do you think these battlers cling to their pivot Pokemon, their Azus and their Scrafties, or do you think they change it up? Because if they brought neither of them, things would just be totally haywire. It'd be really, really crazy.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see it happening. I feel like, the two competitors have established a meta in their particular matchups, and they've probably studied for that particular meta, and they're not going to change it. I think they're going to bring the same three, or maybe Tenacity brings the Marowak, but I doubt it. I think the Azu, Abomasnow, and Venusaur come back, and we're going to see the same play happen in this final game. So let's see if we're completely right or absolutely wrong. Let's see what happens. And here we go. Abomasnow with Cresselia. So this is how it's going to play out. We're going to see the energy ball come again. We're going to see Moonblast or Cresselia probably switching out. We'll see what happens. Now you see difference there. He farms up a little bit over the energy ball. We didn't see that before.
DJ, I honestly feel like we're just in the sandbox here on PV Poke, and we're saying, maybe if I do 5 powder snows and then an energy ball, like these players are just feeling each other out, just like boxers, just trying to find that weak point and trying to play things a little bit differently. Again, luring out the Drift Blim. I think we've seen this 4 out of 5 times.
Yeah. As Asian Milkman says, he's supposed to win it 9 out of 10 times. Let's see. I don't think we'll see a 4 out of 5 situation here, but we're gonna see this play out the same way it played out every other match. We're gonna get double Frenzy Plant from Venusaur. We're gonna get the Icy Wind here from the Drift Blim, and
I'm telling you, DJ, if he's expecting Scrafty in the back and that Shadow Zapdos comes out, I'm gonna message twastell right after this game.
I don't know. It's interesting. How much are we gonna bet that Scrafty's in the back waiting?
Oh, look at this. Oh, he gets to a 3rd Frenzy Plant. We have not seen this yet.
Does twastell decide to go down 2 shields to none here?
Oh my gosh. No, you're gonna take the energy.
Back comes Cresselia and farms out the Venusaur, and Abomasnow again with that little bit of energy. And Scrafty, see, you would have won
again.
some money here if you had bet. But it's fine. But here's the situation. Scrafty, twastell is down 1 shield, so he's gonna ramp up here, and Azu's probably just gonna go straight ice. He's reaching for that Hydro Pump though.
He is. I think the Hydro Pump is the uppercut that's going to end this match if he does land it. And every single time he's thrown the Ice Beam against this Scrafty. So I think vTenacity, feeling very comfortable here, is going to try to sneak one in and knock twastell's lights out.
and
he does.
Hydro Pump lands. Twastell's going to get wrecked, honestly, and Scrafty gets farmed out the door. Cresselia's still here though, but with 2 shields, it's looking really good for vTenacity here.
Yeah, that Abomasnow is kind of weak, so this game is not entirely over. I'm going to go ahead and swap there just in case there was a debuff, wanted to clear it, and going to go straight for the energy ball. Again, vTenacity closing like an apex predator, putting as much pressure as possible here on this Cresselia.
Yeah, and the energy ball is going to get shielded here. Out of shields. It looks like twastell. Ooh, I thought he was gonna just farm it out and then throw everything at the back, but he's just gonna get this Abomasnow out of here. The Abomasnow was about a move away from another weather ball, so you wouldn't want to get hit by that. Reaching for the Hydro Pump, and this should KO. Looks like vTenacity is gonna take this one. The chess game was just amazing. All 5 games, you saw the same Pokemon. Doesn't KO, but the resulting bubble does. Wow. Awesome, amazing plays. vTenacity taking this round and keeping a tight game here. Munchcats and Chill with 8 and PGBL with 6 here. Awesome plays. Now, I just want to ask about the chess game. Like, we keep mentioning the word chess. Like, how do people study for this where they know that the same exact Pokemon are coming every single time?
Yeah, I mean, I think the PvPoke Matrix Simulator is a great place to go, where you can kind of see like your most favorable matchups and what your top weakness is, and then it just really comes down to the player and the play style. But DJ, I just want to highlight again, this Battle of the Servers draft format has been so much fun to watch. We saw the same 3 to 6 Pokemon. Yes, probably 6 or 7 Pokemon for all 5 of those games, and every single game was different. That is just really a sign that this format is really, really special, and the Battle of the Servers is just an amazing format to be a part of. So again, I'm kicking myself for not joining. I had a couple people reach out and I didn't do it, but I'm so happy to be here with you now because this is so much fun.
Yeah, this is awesome to see here.
All right. Great job, guys. And just to clarify, we are at 8-7 after that last match. So we are essentially tied. And we are going to swap out to Tenrexin and Fish on a Heater for the 4th set, which is going to be BellaBoalam versus Shmuseph.
Awesome. Yeah, PGBL doing a great job in these last matchups, coming back from quite a deficit and coming out, as Julie Dad said, pretty much even. So on the PGBL side, for this matchup, we have Shmuseph, and their team is Galarian Stunfisk, Tropius, Shadow Hypno, Scrafty, Zapdos, normal Zapdos, and Registeel. And I think we do see this this Shadow Hypno again. Again, you know, super versatile. It has moves to hit every single one of the opposing Pokemon for super effective, potentially, depending on the moveset. And I think it should also be noted that in the previous set, it looks like BellaBoalam and Shmuseph were the final matchup. So in that case, Munchcats only needed the one game to pull it over the edge to give them a guaranteed win. So it's possible they actually didn't, you know, see as many of the opposing Pokemon and their movesets as the other matchups. So it'll be interesting to see how much they can adjust.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, like you said, less charted territory for these guys. They played out one battle each. The Munchcats did get the win that they needed in their second one. So yeah, gonna be different, little bit different strats this time.
Yeah, how's what is it, BellaBoalam? How's their team looking?
So looking through the team here, I'm thinking it's he's probably they're probably gonna want to run, kind of decide between an Umbreon Deoxys core or an Umbreon Toxicroak core. The Toxicroak does have better matchups in general against the rest of Shmuseph's team than the Deoxys does. However, there is a big problem named Hypno on that team. A Shadow Hypno can take out a full Toxicroak in 3 Confusions. So
yeah,
it's kind of whether Bella wants to risk that, bringing in the Toxicroak that does have the slightly better matchups overall, but then can get very hurt very fast.
Yeah, it's a really interesting pick. I mean, Toxicroak, it has hard matchups no matter what they are, right? It's a hard win or a hard loss. Yeah. But either way, it's usually pretty extreme. One of the interesting ones I'm looking at is the Toxicroak versus Tropius. We don't know yet, at least the two of us don't know yet, if it's an Air Slash versus a Razor Leaf Tropius. And the Air Slash getting to moves, more quickly, pressuring shields a little bit more. Razor Leaf, it would be resisted, but it's such a hard hitting move that it would do quite a bit of damage either way. But I mean, Toxicroak can hit back pretty hard if you can land a Sludge Bomb. But you were mentioning the Toxicroak and the DD, and I thought that was interesting because something I was noticing from Shmusev's team is that the steel types look generally pretty strong, except against those fighters, and especially Toxic
Right.
Rogue. We know from like GBL, for example, DD versus Galarian Stunfisk is a super awkward matchup because DD's doing super effective damage with its fast move, but kind of can't do anything with its charge moves, and so can go down oftentimes in those matchups. But those Pokemon that I just mentioned, so like Tropius and the Steel types from Shmuseph, I'm sort of expecting those, depending on what they want to lead, or what Shmuseph thinks Bella is going to lead.
Yeah, and I'm also just trying to work out if there's kind of anything that Bella could have on their team that they could replace one of those pseudo fighters with that won't leave holes in their team, and I'm struggling.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think we'll almost guaranteed see at least one counter user from Bella every single
plus the Umbreon.
game. Yeah,
plus the Umbreon, I think.
Yeah,
because the Jirachi gets hard-walled by the Scrafty. It gets beaten really badly by the Stunfisk and the Registeel. The Bella's Tropius will be hard countered by those steals. Razor Leaf can hurt the Galarian Stunfisk a lot, but Registeel is a huge problem. Zapdos is a huge problem for the Tropius with that Drill Peck. So there's you could go through the rest of the team, even the Dugong there. Dugong can beat the Galarian Stunfisk with 2 shields in hand. Any other situation, the Stunfisk has got that. It would be great against the Tropius. But Zapdos generally beats it as well, even though it's doing those super effective damage. So it's really the Umbreon counter user kind of pair that Bella's going to rely on here.
Yeah, I mean, we see these. One of the hallmarks, I would say, though, of having these two teams where no one Pokemon is super safe as a swap is a testament to how well these particular players can balance their teams in this draft format. And I think that's really cool to see. And it'll, as we've seen, for a lot of the games that we've seen today, a lot of it will come down to the leads. But I mean, there's certainly ways you can come back from those lost leads if that's a situation that you're in.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, we have like this incredible balance of a huge variety of Pokemon, which is part of what makes draft so interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So let's check out game 1 and see who comes out on top.
It's that Toxicroak and the Registeel. Fantastic start for Bella.
Wow, an immediate switch to that Zapdos. And then a switch to the Dugong. So the Dugong doing super effective against this Zapdos. Loses CMP to this. I mean, is this a Thunderbolt? That would do an incredible amount of damage. So definitely shielding. It is a Drill Peck. So the Icy Wind coming through and debuffing the attack. But honestly, like the amount of damage that Zapdos can do here, it's super fragile. So definitely getting another shield there as well. Man, can it just farm the Zapdos all the way down?
No, unfortunately not. It does get to the other charge move because it built up to the Thunderbolt before throwing Drill Peck, so it had a bit of residual energy there. Oh, Thunder! It's got Thunder, the more powerful move. So we are down both of our shields now on Bella's side. Shmuseph bringing out the Registeel, and one Focus Blast will be able to KO this from here, especially since Bella is not going for the debuff here, just going straight Water Pulse. And then switching out
because there are 2 counter users in the back. We have the Air Slash Tropius coming in, so doing a lot of damage. But like I was saying, this Sludge Bomb is actually quite a big threat. Tropius is super tanky, so it won't actually KO. But unshielded, you can see it does an incredible amount of damage. So the question here is, so the Tropius not wanting to risk it, just taking out this Toxicroak with, I assume, an Aerial Ace. And just leaving this Dugong and DD in the back. So DD is getting saved for that Registeel. Again, Bella's still down shields, but this Dugong can farm down the Tropius before another move comes out. It's icy winding the Registeel so that DD doesn't have to take quite as much damage from the flash cannons. Do you think this could? Wow.
I think that's going to be a very big deal, especially if it can get to another icy wind, which it doesn't, unfortunately. So this Dugong is going to now say goodbye and move on.
Wow.
Just
and Focus
leave
Blast
the rest
coming
of it.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. So now this counter should be able to take out the rest of this Registeel with the debuff. Flash Cannon's just not going to do enough work quick enough.
Not quite.
I don't even think it'll get to another Flash Cannon from here. So I think that is game one to Bella.
Wow. And, it's interesting because I was mentioning how the steals were going to be strong from Shmusev's team. And Bella decided to bring both counter
users
in this case. So that's kind of a bit of a tell there, but that I think means that Shmuseph really has to make an adjustment to try to counter those counter users.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because Shmuseph has two very different hard counters to the different counter users. So Deoxys D is going to be very scared of Scrafty, and the Toxicroak is obviously going to be very scared of the Hypno, and also the Tropius as well. But you can't really plan for either way. You can try and go for that double counter strategy, try and draw out a counter to one of your own counter users, but they might have both in their team, so you can't really rely on that strat.
Yeah, and now I wasn't necessarily looking at that Shadow Hypno, but I'm looking at it a little bit more closely now because, of course, it can totally take out Toxicroak. And depending on the moveset, I mean, we don't know what it is, but for example, a normal Hypno, you often see this pairing of like Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch. Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch, I think, would do an incredible job against this team. So, it might not be that. That's obviously only one of many possible movesets, but it could be quite a threat. And it also, we don't know if the moveset has been revealed to Bella as well. So it could be something to throw a wrench in the works, try to break up those cores.
A possible reason that Shmuseph didn't bring Hypno is maybe it's got Ice Punch, which would be really only effective against that Tropius. The rest of that team's going to handle Ice Punch quite well, so that's an option.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at game 2 then.
And it is the Dugong lead again. Oh, and Scrafty. Scrafty has got this matchup down pat. Even with the debuffs, Dugong does not stand a chance. So opting to bring out, the switch into the Deoxys, which Scrafty does still win that one, but not as much with shields. Now Tropius is out, and that is a much more even matchup. Those rock slides are going to wear down that Tropius a lot. Let's see how much Shmuseph is looking to invest into keeping this matchup going.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Shmuseph does want to win switch here because that Scrafty lead so good against the Dugong. But I mean, Tropius is super tanky, but as we saw, I mean, these rock slides hurt a lot. So it really depends, I think, on shields, right? I mean, the Air Slash Tropius is going to be able to get off these Leaf Blades very quickly. The Tropius, I guess, theoretically could survive maybe one more rock slide, but I think we actually will see a shield.
I think they're both within range of one charge move from here.
Yeah, quite interesting.
So now Bella has to decide whether they want to keep this Deoxys going, and they do. So now it's got to get to that rock slide. And
double shield. Are they going for a double Psycho Boost? They're going for a double
that is a good move.
Boost.
I really like that. I would have been nicer if it had enough for a rock slide and a Psycho Boost, so you could throw the
getting
rock slide
that shield. Here comes the next one. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Will this be enough? Because this has been double debuffed on attack now.
Oh,
it doesn't
man,
get
Tropius' tank just
went for that
much.
play, did not pay off. So
Too
now,
much to
unfortunately,
handle.
Bella has to make the decision. What are they going to bring out? Obviously,
and the question is, did Shmuseph bring a good counter for Toxie, right? Because we know that there's a good counter for Dugong here. And so, I mean, if Oh wow, and able to get that leaf blade off. That's sort of the icing on the cake. We do see the Scrafty coming out, Toxie, and here we get the Zapdos again. Oh no.
Oh, is this gonna one shot? Are we gonna get the one shot?
I imagine this one shots. It's DrillPeng. Oh my gosh.
And that Toxie was one counter away from a Sludge Bomb. If it had gotten there first, then that would have flipped that matchup.
Oh man, that's rough. That's absolutely rough to see. I mean, Zapdos also incredibly squishy. So yeah, I think that Sludge Bomb would have also just straight up KO'd if it had got off. But without a significant energy advantage, we saw that super quick swap from Shmuseph, and then ending up with this super favorable matchup with Scrafty versus Dugong. Scrafty takes it, and that gives a win for Shmuseph. Nicely done.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see just how quickly that split second sequence happened. You know, the Scrafty comes back in and then immediately gets drawn out because Shmuseph knew.
Yeah, definitely expecting the switch because, you know, Dugong didn't have too much to do. I mean, Dugong can, you know, maybe throw an icy wind, but if it's going to switch out anyway, then there's sort of no point. You might as well save the energy for whatever is in the back. Yeah, so expecting the swaps and super quick plays there. Well played from both sides. Absolutely. And we're at 1-1 right now, right?
Yeah, just like last time.
Yeah, nice. All right, let's see how game 3 goes.
It's so close. All right, Deoxys lead.
Here's the Hypno.
Very lucky on Bella's part that Hypno did not come out against the Tox. So this we're going to see probably at least one move from the Hypno. See what it is packing at the moment. So building up a bit more energy
here. Yeah, I mean
that's about 1.5 rock slides.
Yeah, and Hypno might have enough for, you know, a Shadow Ball potentially. I think it definitely has enough for a Shadow Ball at this point. So the question is, does it have one? I mean, if it does,
I count 5 or 6 confusions?
The Shadow Ball goes through.
No shield.
So good. Oh man.
Right, so that rock slide coming in. This won't KO.
It's going to be super close. Okay, not shielding, trusting that the confusions will take it the rest of the way with that 20% buff from the shadow damage. And I don't think you can bring in Toxie here. You gotta bring in just one confusion from a shadow Hypno.
Yeah. I looked it up before. It's 44 damage to a default Toxicroak.
Oh, and it gets off another move. Yes. I mean, I don't think this is a Shadow Ball, but, you know, it might be. Are we going to see? Okay, it's a Fire Punch Shadow Ball Hypno. That's good to know, definitely. So the Dugong coming out. Here comes the Scrafty. Here comes the Toxicroak. And here, oh no,
Bella in the driver's seat now. Those mud shots are gonna stack up a little. I've lost track of the shield situation. What are we at with shields?
Everybody has
one less on Shmuseph
until that point.
Okay, so those counters are gonna just add up way faster than Shmuseph can handle. So definitely gonna see a shield here.
Yeah, Shmuseph absolutely needs to take out some shields so that it can have some threats.
Can they get the farm down? Oh, it doesn't get the farm down, so it spends that second shield.
But this Toxicroak, you know, I think it's much more valuable. So I'm expecting another shield here. Wow, and an Earthquake coming out. Man, if that had been unshielded, that would have been incredible. But we do see now a Toxicroak versus this Scrafty. It shields down, but has a ton of energy.
There was one shield left on Scrafty's side.
There is. So it comes out here, but there's already, okay, going for that Sludge Bomb. More powerful move. Let's see how much this does on Scrafty. Now, the Scrafty, you know, it has that really favorable matchup against Dugong, like we saw, but you know, it needs at least a little bit of HP, and this Toxicroak is absolutely chunking. Oh man!
So I think 2 ice shards, maybe a third from the Dugong.
Yeah, and almost at an Icy Wind. Just going to throw it to be safe. This Icy Wind will take out the Scrafty. And man, so that Toxicroak in the back, I guess not expected, right? Based on the team comp from Shmuseph there. That Toxicroak in the back was absolutely clutch for Bella. So maybe an adjustment needs to be made. I guess the Hypno was, you know, it was there for the Toxie, right?
Lead.
But
And,
if the Toxie wasn't in the lead and it was expected, then maybe a switch out was needed to try to bait it out and then come back in with Hypno.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Because it's it's a bit of a risky play otherwise, kind of letting that Hypno go down and then having two things that are weak to that Toxic Rogue in the back.
Yeah, interesting. So I mean, even after the Shadow Ball went through, yeah, I think maybe giving up switch again just to make sure that the Toxie doesn't end up at the back could have been the play. But you know, again, it's hard to know exactly, of course, what the opponent will bring. We did see some variation in the teams for this game, so let's see if we can see yet another adjustment for game 4.
Are you expecting continuation of that double counter strategy from Bella?
I mean, it's looking pretty strong because the steals are otherwise very strong from Shmuseff's side. I think it makes sense. It's just matching up again, like you said before, which counter user to which other Pokemon.
Which counter.
Right. And that makes, I think, a big difference depending on what it is. Again, we have seen this Hypno's moveset revealed, so that Shadow Ball quite a threat against pretty much anything. So it could be pressuring shields in the future as well. I think we might see it. I thought that Zapdos did good work as well. So we'll see if that comes back as well.
Cool.
Yeah, nice. Let's go on to game 4.
Deoxys lead, Scrafty lead. Okay, so Scrafty's got this one, but those counters with the shields up, if Bella wants to use those shields.
Oh wow, the Scrafty just straight switching out
into the Zapdos, and looks like Bella is staying in with this one. Those rock slides are gonna just knock it into next week, so definitely want to use those shields.
Yeah. Absolutely, and we saw that this was the Thunder Zapdos, right? So if it's Thunder, that's going to hit incredibly hard. But I think this is a Drill Peck, which won't quite KO. I mean,
and so does Bella.
It does. Oh yeah, I mean, I wonder if it could. Okay, double.
Okay, here comes another Drill Peck, and we are
shield. I mean, it would survive that one Drill Peck or this Drill Peck. It would have survived, but. Shielding up to get another rock slide and pressuring shields. All the shields are coming out very early in this matchup, unlike last game.
So we might see the second shield here. Yep, we
double
are
shield.
Just one shield left on Bella's side, and that is all we've got. No more shields. That's it.
Wow.
We are out of shields.
So Bella confident about this matchup. Looks like they're going for the Psycho Boost. Wow.
Will this KO 10? Will this KO?
Does this KO? I'm not sure.
Does it KO?
I mean, it's so glassy. It goes down. Doesn't even have to switch. Okay, here comes the Hypno again. Hypno. But okay, it looks like the Hypno might just be going for a full farm down. But we see switching out into this Dugong. Here comes the Scrafty back. Wow, I don't know about that play. I mean, this Scrafty is in a good matchup. I feel like the DD stayed in at the beginning because Bella knew that the Toxie had such a strong matchup against the Scrafty in the back. But now it's not going to see that matchup. So this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and Shmuseph still has that Hypno going in the back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
wow.
Bella's got Tox there that hasn't been revealed yet. This Scrafty is just going to get up a ton of energy.
Undercharging the Icy Wind. Trying to get either... Wow. Oh, maybe going down on purpose? Oh, look at that. The standoff. Nice.
Okay, but now Deoxys has to win CMP here to kind of knock out that... Oh, but no, that Hypno is just going to finish it all off.
Here comes the Toxie, a move coming out from the Scrafty. I mean, either move is resisted, but I mean, it's still going to give. It is a foul play, so you know it's a bit of an HP advantage there. Here comes the Confusions.
Okay.
My gosh.
I think could have gone for a Sludge Bomb there, but obviously going to try and get the Hypno low enough so that a Rock Slide can take it out. Let's find out if it works.
This enough? If it's not enough, I mean, this is.
Oh, it's not enough. And it is all over.
Fire Punch coming in from Hypno. It can withstand one counter, and Toxicroak absolutely cannot withstand one confusion.
Oh,
And
wow,
it
that's
had
so much
another
energy.
move. Wow, quite a bit of energy on this Hypno. I definitely didn't keep track of that. So 2 Fire Punches for the win. Well done. That was extremely well played. Wait a minute. Are we back at even again for points from this particular matchup? Is this 2-2?
It's a 2-2. Yeah, I believe so.
Wow.
This is crazy.
This is down to the wire.
Yeah,
Incredible. Okay.
So Bella using a strat that didn't pay off there, tried to save up energy for the rock slide so that the Deoxys could come in the late game and just wipe out what was in the back. Unfortunately, since that Pokemon was Hypno, even Shadow version is a bit too tanky for that. And of course, Toxicroak in the back, Hypno is just going to look in its direction, and the Toxicroak just runs.
Wow. It was so interesting because we did see both the Zapdos and the Hypno in this particular game. And I think maybe Bella was only expecting one or the other. Because ultimately, like losing Switch, like giving up Switch, right? When they switched out of that DD after the Zapdos matchup, that really gave the play to Shmuseph to make sure that Hypno was lined up favorably, and ultimately it was like super strong in the end, just couldn't be taken down. I mean, valiant effort, of course, with that combo play of charge moves, but ultimately even Shadow Hypno has enough tank to withstand those moves and be able to sweep in the back. So that was really well done from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, okay, so Shmuseph has to take the win here to even it up for PGBL.
That'll make for a heck of a finale.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Game 5, let's do it.
We've seen it so many times.
But Scrafty switched out last time. Does it switch out again? It does.
Straight out. Zapdos this time. So we saw this again last time. So going for those rock slides. Last time, both players opted to burn both shields. Now that strategy ended up coming back to bite Bella on the butt a little bit because the rock slide that it had saved up was not enough to win that matchup, close that matchup out. So we are seeing a no shield now from Bella, but I believe they let through one Drill Peck last time as well.
I think they did. This Thundershock, always the preferred fast move on Zapdos. It does a little bit more damage than Charge Beam, but ultimately, like, it's not really going to be enough to actually farm down a DD. So we see the same sort of situation here. Both sides coming out. Wow, another Drill Peck. Well, we did see something similar to that last time, didn't we?
Yeah. So again, Bella's used both of their shields.
Again, both of the shields. Now, the question is, did Bella... Oh, wait.
He's gone straight for that Psycho Boost.
Yeah, this is interesting. Is there going to be a switch out here, potentially? Oh, no. Both shields were down. My bad.
Yeah.
So, again, we see the Hypno. But this time, I think Bella might just stay in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And allow themselves to get farmed down.
Because we haven't seen them bring up their Switch tray yet, so we don't know if they brought the exact same team, do we?
Right. We don't necessarily know what they have in the back. Wow, that...
did nothing.
It must have been a debuffed rock slide, right?
Yeah, it was.
I didn't notice the debuff, but it really didn't do that much.
Okay. Umbreon!
They brought the Umbreon.
Oh, and now the instant switch.
Look at that.
Perfect team composition from Bella, taking that out. This is game over. Let's just pack it up now.
Man, so this Scrafty, it's the fighter that loses to the other fighters. So Bella taking that into account, making sure that this Toxie was absolutely matched up with the Scrafty, taking this particular matchup very strong, and really there's not going to be much to do. I mean, the Hypno can't even get that much energy from the Toxicroak, and this Toxicroak is going to get off a Sludge Bomb before it goes down to one more Confusion. I mean, this is incredible. That Umbreon will do it. Wow. Well done. Just snarling down. Full health Umbreon at the end. Well played, BellaBoalam, taking that particular matchup 3-2 and giving their team, the Munchcats, an advantage going into the final matchup of this
they
final.
are 2 points up with 5 battles left to go. Just shout out to that perfect strat. Like knew that Hypno was going to be there to try and take that Tox. Had the Tox there still in their team, but brought the Umbreon as just a fantastic counter. Managed to avoid getting the Umbreon locked in against the Scrafty as well, which is a bit of a risk that they take bringing the Umbreon in, and it just wonderfully done.
Yeah, absolutely, and really awesome to see that double counter user being brought like every match, I think. Seeing both the DD and the Toxie coming out in every game and being able to play out, and then mixing up that third Pokemon to try to one up against the matchups that Bella expected to see. So extremely well played from both sides. Absolutely excited to see the last matchup here.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that was meant to be the perfect spot for Jiggly Dad to say, "All right, let's bring in our other."
Sorry, yeah. Let's bring in. Sorry about the fail on the set. You guys had me confused there, thinking that there was supposed to be another battle in this set, and the segue.
Oh no, we're just excited.
The segue
keep going. We'll take him. Keep him coming.
I felt the segue coming, and then I was just like, "What just happened there?" Okay, so we are sitting at 11-9. Munchlax and Chill over PGBL entering our final set, and we're gonna bring back Speediest Chief and DJ Enterprise to close out the final set. Thank you guys for the cast on that one. Great job, great energy, really well done.
Okay. So we're down two. I'm GriddleMaster. I got a plan to try to win this 3-2. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What do you think? I don't know.
DJ, I got to tell you, CalebPeng is a tough opponent, not the guy you want to face, especially when you're coming down to the wire in a matchup like this. Man, looking at these teams, though, GriddleMaster with the Alolan Muck, Shadow Machamp, Cresselia, Ferrothorn, Swampert, and Altaria versus Caleb's side. He's got the Skarmory, his own Swampert, Medicham, Bastiodon, Ivysaur, which is a kind of like a side grade to a Venusaur pick that we see in Draft League, and then Sableye as well. So just based on your initial impressions of these teams, DJ, what kind of stands out to you, and what do you think these strategies could be going forward?
Well, I looked at GriddleMaster's team, and the only thing that glares to me when I'm GriddleMaster and I'm looking at CalebPeng's team is that Swampert. I am deathly afraid of that Swampert. The Swampert beats my Muck. The Swampert will just Hydro Cannon my Machamp into oblivion. The Swampert will, if it's running Earthquake, will destroy my Ferrothorn. Swampert Mirror you kind of don't want to be in because that's just one of those annoying things where you have to manage shields. And Altaria is kind of the only solution, but then if you bring Altaria, you have to deal with a Bastiodon, and you kind of don't want to deal with that. I mean, you have the Shadow Machamp, but you don't want to bring the two together. So honestly, I would probably pick the lesser evil and maybe bring the Ferrothorn to kind of pressure the Swampert. And if Medicham comes in and is running counter, I highly doubt it's running Cycle Cut. But if it's running counter, I would just bring in the Muck to kind of soak those up.
Yeah, DJ, I see different things than you when I look at these teams. I do think Swampert is a little bit tricky, but just like we saw Scrafty in the last matchup as the fighter that loses to fighters, Caleb has the fighter that beats all the other fighters. He does have that Medicham on his side. I think we're going to see a Medicham and Bastiodon core coming from Caleb here. Bastiodon, a lot of opportunities here to just bully this team. As long as the Shadow Machamp and the Swampert stay on the bench or at home, I think Bastiodon has a ton of play here against these other Pokemon. And then pair with Medicham, something that can beat Swampert, can beat of course Machamp. I think you've got a really strong duo there, and I'm really interested to see how this turns out.
Yeah, I'm very scared of that Bastiodon as well because the only counter that we have to Swampert, Bastiodon mops the floor with it. So I do see that core coming as well. And as far as the third, honestly, I don't think the Ivysaur is going to come out, and I don't think the Sableye is going to come out either. I feel like those two Pokemon on CalebPeng's team have no play against, or very little play against the team of six that I'm bringing as GriddleMaster. Um, Again, the focus is keep the Swampert at bay, kind of dance around the Medicham, with its, crazy moves, and try to counter the Bastiodon with either the Shadow Machamp in an ideal situation, or the I believe. Well, you can't bring the Cresselia against it. The Muck can handle it to an extent, but you keep the core at bay, and GriddleMaster can't eke out this one.
Yeah, definitely. I think Skarmory is probably a nice compliment for Caleb to bring as well. Especially depends on the movesets of the Pokemon here, but Cresselia's moves are going to be resisted. Ferrothorn, if it doesn't have Thunder, is going to have an uphill battle. Swampert can do some great work, and Altaria, in GBL, I use Altaria to melt Skarmories almost every single day, so there is some play for him there as well. But just based on the initial blush of team comps, I think Caleb has a slight edge here. But again, we are in the grand finals matchup here. GriddleMaster and CalebPeng. Our score is very close. And as you said, DJ, Griddle has to pull out 3 wins to 2 in order to take this championship here. So this is going to be really, really awesome.
Oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. And I don't put anything past anybody. CalebPeng is a legend. GriddleMaster is GriddleMaster. At the end of the day, your Pokemon speak for itself. Your decisions speak for itself, and anybody can win in this game. You don't have to be a legend, but again, anybody with the Pokemon and the right mindset and the right moves can win at this game. So let's see what happens. Let's see some hype in the chat. Let's get this going. Let's see game number 1. Here we go. Ooh, we're gonna have Skarmory into the Swampert. Interesting. So there's the Swampert that we were worried about, but we brought the Skarmory.
Yeah, generally speaking, if you land that Brave Bird, it's going to do a ton of damage to Swampert, but I don't think Skarmory can tank more than 2 Hydro Cannons. And look at that, Sableye safe swap coming out, but the Swampert's already got a ton of energy.
Interesting. And I actually just kind of flipped my the way I'm looking at this match, because we're actually looking at GriddleMaster's Swampert. In comes the Alolan Muck from GriddleMaster. And this is actually pretty neutral, but that Sableye does have return on it and its best buddy.
Oh my goodness.
It lands. This is gonna be an interesting match here. Now we play shield situation. What does Caleb decide to do here?
This Muck is in perfect farm down range, and it needs 4 more Snarls in order to get to that next Dark Pulse. So I think it's a great position here for Caleb to come in and farm. Medicham with energy is very, very deadly, and as you can see there, we got a glimpse of the moveset as well. He is running counter with Ice Punch, and I believe I saw Psychic on the left side.
I actually missed it, but we're going to see it very shortly.
Yep.
No, that is dangerous. And I would expect Caleb to hide that Dynamic Punch until the time is right. We're not going to see that for a while. In comes Altaria and does not shield the Ice Punch. Switches out, and the Sky Attack going for the 1-2 punch Caleb here. And I would expect that something has to be shielded here.
Yeah, the counter. Whoa. I'm very, very surprised by that, because at this health range, the Swampert is not going to appreciate the counters, especially with 2 shields in play on Caleb's side. The damage aggregate is just going to be too much. That Hydro Cannon does go through, but I think another Sky Attack is going to be denied actually by this next Hydro Cannon. I don't think it KOs, though, and they are actually going to shield. So Caleb going to keep his Skarmory in this matchup a little while longer.
Yeah, he's going to farm up, and I thought he was going to actually farm all the way up, but he's actually just going to throw the Sky Attack. This will probably be shielded, because this is the only Pokemon technically left for GriddleMaster. Probably going to get 2 shielded here, and GriddleMaster's going to farm up. I think he's going to go for double Hydro Cannon here.
Yeah, and DJ, I was going to call it a moment ago, but the match has kind of changed. I was going to call a counter down of the Altaria as the game-winning condition, because you don't want to take the Sky Attack, and I think we might actually see that here. I don't think you shield. You need to save the shield for the sky attack. Altaria is really weak, so we're going to see some wacky stuff going on here. Look at this.
Yeah, and down goes Altaria. Metacham, ooh, this is going to be close, and everyone has a shield. Yeah, it's going to be the counter down, and there it is. GriddleMaster gets counted down. CalebPeng takes game number 1. And not showing that dynamic punch, which is great, because he didn't really need it, but you're going to need it later, especially against GriddleMaster's Ferrothorn. And he's probably had that move for the entirety of the tournament, because you can't change moves. But it's gonna be a rude awakening if that Metacham pairs up against that Ferrothorn. It's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, the Ferrothorn or the Alolan Muck, neither of those Pokemon are going to appreciate a stab dynamic punch from Metacham. It's going to be really devastating. But again, DJ, I agree. He didn't show more than he had to. Caleb, very restrained as a player, and I think he did really well there. He just did what he needed to do to get the job done. Griddle is down 1 game, so let's see if he can bounce back in game 2.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, we got the Sableye, the return Sableye into the Altaria. This is actually pretty neutral, but I feel like the Dragon Breaths are going to kind of add up. Oh, switching out. GriddleMaster switching out to Alolan Muck, and here comes the Metacham again. I would continue to hide that dynamic punch. I feel like if you go straight Ice Punch, you should have a chance here, because this Dark Pulse is going to be just neutral damage here.
So I really like this play by GriddleMaster. The instant swap there. Oh, here comes the dynamic punch.
He's going for it. He's going to show it early. This is only game number 2, but he's going to try to smoke this and get
my God.
hands. And this is just a farm down situation. You could shield once, but he's actually just going to hold on to the shields.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, DJ, I like this play as well, because the swap into Alolan Muck is going to lure out either the Swampert or the Metacham and putting Altaria in a more favorable position, but GriddleMaster electing to give up switch by letting the Muck go down, and out comes the Sableye with a few Shadow Claws worth of energy.
Yeah, and he's pretty much right on the return, and he's just going to go right for it. GriddleMaster should probably shield here if he read the energy correctly here. And
oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I hope GriddleMaster kept the receipt for his Altaria, because he just got returned.
Oh man!
Here we go.
Not even a layaway. Come on, it's almost Christmas. Think of the kids. Think of the kids.
Think of the children. So here we go. Caleb in the driver's seat. As I want to borrow that from the previous shoutcast, that was really, really well said. He's going to go ahead and try to fire the sky attack, but loses CMP here to the Swampert. Forced to shield. He's got to figure out a way to deal with this Altaria, because that aggregate Dragon Breath damage is going to add up over time. So I definitely think fast move pressure is a factor that Caleb is considering here.
Yeah, the Sableye is still alive, I believe, and
it is
still pretty healthy. So you're gonna have to just throw everything here, and I would probably save the shields for the Sableye. I don't think it has energy, because it threw the return and switched out right away. But GriddleMaster needs to account for that. But GriddleMaster is out of shields, and I don't think we've seen the. Have we seen the third yet? Actually, the Swampert is the third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really interesting. So this is a very intense moment where you have to decide if you're going to shield the Hydro Cannon or if you're going to shield a Sky Attack that's likely to come. And he is electing to shield the Hydro Cannon. So even though things have been kind of unfortunate here for Griddle, he's putting so much pressure on Sableye with these Hydro Cannons, and Caleb has to pull the trigger here. Only question is Altaria going to beat him to a charge move, or can he get to the foul play?
I don't know if that was an undercharge or he knew that was just going to KO, but the Altaria is going to come in with the Sky Attack, and this should, if not KO, get very close to KO.
Oh, yeah, it will, yeah. Wow.
Oh, yeah, with 1 HP, and down goes with the Dragon Breath. So, Caleb successfully got the lure out, but GriddleMaster made a nice comeback there.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb drew first blood in game 1, and then we saw Griddle just strike back here. Really impressive play with Altaria, preserving it, using it to its full extent. Unchecked by steel types and anti-flyers, Altaria is a terror and can really just melt away your team over time. So Yeah, very, very well played by both competitors. This is fun. This is so much fun.
Yeah, this is amazing, and I'm gonna place bets in the chat right now on if GriddleMaster will ever shield a return. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but GriddleMaster pretty much. Let's see, it's 1-1 here. The score I believe it's not updated yet, but I think it's let's see, it's 9-12. I think GriddleMaster needs to win this out in order to win. He needs all three.
Oof. The stakes are high.
It's very high, and you're going up against CalebPeng. Cochino saying one more, Caleb, and I don't know. This is going to be close. We'll see what happens. Let's go game number 3. 12-10, and we got Metacham into Swampert here. This is not bad, but GriddleMaster electing to switch out into the muck, and yeah, Caleb is just going to stay in and go straight for DP again, but is going to smoke the Dark Pulse here.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I'm still trying to figure out what Griddle has in mind with the swap there. Definitely wanting to keep Swampert around, maybe anticipating the Skarmory, but this is not a negative matchup for Metacham, especially with that Dynamic Punch threat. It is going to draw that first shield. Metacham's still very comfortable here and is probably going to get to another one and draw that second shield, but I don't think it'll be enough to KO the Alolan Muck.
Do you think Swampert and Altaria are in the back again? I mean, yeah. I mean, well, we had the Swampert. You think Altaria's in the back again to counteract the Sableye?
I do think so. I think it's a great check for Sableye and for Swampert, but Caleb just not cooperating here with Griddle. After that swap, he did not change out. Now I think we're going to see the Altaria. Yep, there it is. Come right back out. This is a very aggressive farm. It's going to be very close, and he doesn't quite get there.
I don't think you go down 2 shields here. You're going to have to let this through. And it was let through in the previous game, and they're pretty much playing the same strategy here. They felt each other out through 2 games, and we're seeing the same. We're seeing it play out the same exact way. In comes the Sableye, but Swampert is loaded, and Caleb's not going to shield. Interesting.
Yeah, I think Caleb's recognizing here that he can probably do enough damage to Swampert with a single foul play, that he can bring in the Skarmory, maybe attempt a farm down and double sky attack on the Altaria. This foul play, I don't think is going to get shielded, and it does. Oh my goodness!
Interesting. Swampert cannot farm down. He's going to have to throw, and Caleb recognizes that. He's just going to let Swampert go, and he's probably going to put all of this on Metacham. Oh no, Metacham's dead. I'm sorry. All of this on Skarmory. Skarmory up a shield. I think Caleb can take this one and get the chip.
Yeah, again, losing CMP to the Swampert, thinking about relative damage, the Hydro Cannon is going to sting worse than the Sky Attack, so electing to spin the shield here. I think he undercharges possibly and goes... No, I think he's just going to knock it right out. I was going to say an undercharge might be a play here as well to deny the move here, but Altaria is just out of range here. Skarmory with just too much health.
Yeah, and the Sky Attack comes in, but it's not going to do anything, and it looks like Caleb is going to take this one. Throws another Sky Attack, and this Sky Attack from Altaria will do absolutely nothing. No other move will do anything. It looks like Caleb's going to take this one, and that's going to be that. I believe we're going to see the other 2 games, but it looks like Munchcats and Chill is just chilling right now, in the driver's seat and about to take the crown.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Caleb just with ice water in his veins, just not going to react in an impulsive way. Is just going to keep. He's going to stick to his strategy, keep the path that he had decided on before the game, and it paid off huge for him. Griddle just trying to throw a wrench in his plans, but Caleb just didn't buy. He didn't take the bait. He didn't buy it.
Yep, he read that. He read the pancake like a book and said, "You are not the GriddleMaster. I make waffles." But that was that was an amazing display by CalebPeng there against GriddleMaster. He fought his best. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, well played on both sides. CalebPeng brought the heat, and I guess the Griddle overheated.
DJ, you're killing it, man. Most of the time I can fire off like 2 or 3 puns in a shoutcast like this, but it's like a slaughter. You're just way up here, and my level's way down here. I need to step it up.
Well, when you watch King so much, it happens.
Yeah, he is the king of the puns.
Let's see. Do we have game number 4 going? We're gonna see this play out. Here we go. Metacham into Altaria. Different lead here for GriddleMaster this time.
Yeah, finally a favorable spot here for GriddleMaster. You want to lock down the Metacham or the Swampert if you're running that Altaria lead, and he's able to get the Metacham. These Ice Punches are really devastating. I definitely think you shield this first one because you don't want to put yourself in a position like we saw in Game 2 where you get countered. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I just ate all my words.
Saving the shields for Season 5.
Yeah.
But let's not. Yeah, here we go. There's, there could be a strategy to this. Looks like Caleb's just gonna match and let it go. Interesting. In comes the Skarmory. Oh, he's gonna go for the sack swap. He's gonna go for the sack swap. He's gonna try to get the Sky Attack. Does not get the switch. I think he legitimately tried to switch on there and does not get it. But technically he doesn't need to because the Sky Attack is going to be resisted onto. Yeah,
I think he might have been anticipating the Swampert switch in, and in that case, you don't want to be behind an energy.
Right. Now he could Brave Bird and dip here, depending on what comes out.
Yeah, GriddleMaster taking his time, cooking up a Swampert here for us. Caleb electing to go for double Sky Attacks. Again, the Impulsive Battler goes straight for the Brave Bird, straight for the Uppercut. Caleb is very, very methodical, trying to pick apart this team, going for a back-to-back Sky Attack. Now, DJ, that does mean he's going to be out of energy if he pulls the switch right now, but I think he's in a good position either way.
Yeah, I don't think he has a need to switch. Just let Swampert Hydro Cannon and let it go and keep your shields. You've already taken 1.5 out the team. That was a CMP tie there, it looks like. And he's shielding. Interesting. He's shielding. What does he have in the back?
I think this is the 4th time Caleb has been locked in this. Oh, my goodness. Double.
There it is.
I think this is the 4th time Caleb's been locked, or 5th time, in this Sky Attack Hydro Cannon CMP tie, and Swampert wins it every single time.
Yeah, Swampert wins CMP over Skarmory, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think unless it's a very rare case, and I could even be misspeaking there. It comes a fighting type Machamp.
Wow, and you see that read on Caleb, right? You shielded the Skarmory and kept it healthy. I mean, either which way, I mean, it looks like Caleb may or may not take. Well,
I think double cross chop is going to be enough.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, that's not going to do it. So yeah. Cross chop, and that'll be it for Caleb in this game. But undercharge.
He's just trying to draw the shield.
Yeah, but yeah, on a Shadow Machamp, shield automatically comes out.
Yeah,
that's just like an unwritten rule.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't even press the button; it just pops up.
Yeah, it just comes up. You're going to shield, so I'm not even going to bother wasting my finger energy to pop the button.
So yeah, DJ, how do you think Caleb kind of recalibrates going into this? Is this game 4? I believe it's game 4 coming up.
I believe this is game 5 upcoming.
Is it 5? The last one, yeah.
Last one, okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be the last game upcoming. I don't know if this was played in order, but you see Caleb has it in the bag, and actually, the list was actually put in order. Oh no, that's not the list of how it was played. I guess they played out separately. But how would Caleb retool? I would say just bring the same 3. I don't see any reason. Like I said, he's brought the Sableye, so I was totally wrong on that. The Ivysaur has no reason to be in the game. I would just bring this. I would expect the Skarmory, the Swampert, and the Metacham top 3 to come right out, and I would just keep my same matchup here. Keep the Muck in. I wouldn't bring the Shadow Machamp again. If you want to switch it up, bring the Cresselia maybe. To kind of, we don't know what Cresselia is running. Maybe he has Grass Knot. And you could probably use that in place of the Altaria. Maybe you have a chance.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
All right, here we go. Final game. Munchcats and Chill already has it in the bag, but in comes the Muck into Caleb Skarmory. Looks like I would just go, if I were Caleb, just go straight sky attack. If I were Griddle, just go straight dark pulse and see how the shielding situation goes here.
Yeah, I agree completely. And we haven't seen the other two yet in Caleb's trio, but I'm with you. Oh, he actually switched it up. Are you serious?
Ooh,
Did you see
I didn't see what he had behind that.
You're going to be surprised. I won't spoil it for you. You're just going to see.
No, don't
So
spoil it for me.
electing to take this move on the Medicham, I think he is going to try to save his shields because he's got a Pokemon that is not going to appreciate sky attacks in the back. Hope that was enough of a hint. But he's going to go for Ice Punch. I think he gets to a second Ice Punch here before Medicham falls.
And this Ice Punch is going to land as usual. Yeah, we haven't seen Ice Punch shield. He's going for it again. You have to shield this one because you're going to shield and farm down here. And then I will be pleasantly surprised as to what Caleb brought in this game. Did he bring the Ivysaur? I'm betting Ivysaur. He brought the Ivysaur, didn't he? He brought the Ivysaur. I knew it. He brought it. Oh my goodness.
Well, again, I think this is just a testament to Caleb's skill. He recognized that both Medicham and Ivysaur would struggle against the Altaria. So even though it took a little while longer for this to play out, he did swap in that Medicham to lure out the big cloud fluffy bird in order to put Skarmory in a good position. So I think he's going to try to sweep with Ivysaur in the back once the Altaria goes down.
Caleb's calling the Swampert in the back. That's why he brought the Ivysaur. Caleb was calling. Yeah. Caleb knows that GriddleMaster brought that Swampert. And that Swampert is going to come out right now. And Caleb is just going to be like, listen, I told you so. Listen, Cranberry, I told you, the Swampert coming out. So now I'm going to bring the Ivysaur and, we're going to win this one.
Oh, my gosh.
Birds. And in comes the Ivysaur and it's just going to clean this up.
Man.
He brought the little pot of I don't know what to call this thing.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I was wondering if Caleb was going to go for the 2-shield flex there, but no, he's got respect. He's going to go ahead and allow the fast moves to do the talking for him. Wow,
Yeah.
What a final set, DJ. That was awesome.
Amazing gameplay. Even GriddleMaster himself said in chat he was played like a fiddle. That was the calls from CalebPeng are just like almost blew my hat off just now. The insane calls. Like he knows the Swampert's coming one more time. So hey, I'll just bring in the Ivysaur and just mess it up.
I mean, that's the thing. When you play against somebody like CalebPeng, it doesn't even feel that bad to lose just because he's such a legend. He's such a great player, and there's so much mutual respect going on. I mean, if you're going to lose to somebody like Caleb is not the worst person in the world to take the L from.
Not at all. And in my my young Sylph journey, I've already played with the best of them. I played with Arrow, I played with Hot Pocket, and I take nothing lightly. I'll try to sneak a game, but as GriddleMaster did there in that one game. But again, legends are legends for a reason, and Caleb showing in this display here why he not only why he's in the upper echelon in his own right, but why he was drafted by Munchcats and Chill. And speaking of Munchcats and Chill, they take the finals for Battle of the Servers 14-11. Amazing gameplay all around. And with that, we're gonna kick it right back to Jiggly Dad.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Such a great job. Looks like we are now joined by representatives from each team. We've got Nightwing here on behalf of PGBL, and we have Twastell on behalf of Munchcats and Chill. So do any of the casters want to chime in with any questions? You guys are the far more articulate observers of the game. Were there any questions you wanted to ask with regard to what you actually saw?
Twastell, I just wanted to compliment you again on your play in that set. I mean, you played really, really well, and I gave you a little bit of a hard time early on in the cast about not bringing Frostlass, but you still crushed it. Man.
That was funny.
Of course.
But yeah, no, vTenacity is a really good player, and he definitely had the team comp advantage on me. So the first time we played, he 4-1'd me. So it was a relief to take 2 games off of him the second time around.
How did you guys get to swipe up Caleb? I know that one of the dynamics with the Battle of the Servers is that there's teams of 5, and Go Stadium goes with teams of 4. So I think a lot of teams that exist for Battle of the Server for Go Stadium Go Team Up tend to kind of pick somebody up if they're going to do this. So did you guys have to compete for Caleb, or did you get to snatch him clean?
So Caleb typically competes with the Cool Cats, and we're pretty good friends with the Cool Cats. And when we heard they weren't competing, we asked if we could borrow Caleb as our 5th, and they graciously let us have him. And he did a great job throughout the tournament. Very consistent player. I think he won like almost every match he played. So really great pickup. He's a good friend of ours, so it was a lot of fun to get to add him to the team for this tournament. Great guy. Really fun to have around on the team.
Was it at all like asking someone to marry, where you had to ask Kachino Mom for his hand on the team?
Basically.
First. So as far as competing in these goes, you guys came back from a loss earlier on. What was the team that you guys lost to, and what was it that you attributed being able to come back and finish this off?
I don't even remember the team now, to be honest with you. It wasn't a team that I recognized their name. They definitely played well, though. It just wasn't one of like the established teams. How there's some teams where you just know their name right off the bat. It wasn't one of those, but they were definitely a lot of good players, and played really well against us. I think the main thing is
with Matt.
Sometimes it just comes down to matchups a little bit. And that first round team, their teams lined up well with ours. And I think the rest of the tournament, our matchups were a little more favorable. And when we had bad matchups, I think we were able to play around them a little more. And I think one of the other big changes was the first round was while Munchcats and Chill was still in the Go Team Up as well. So we kind of had our focus divided between both a lot. And then shortly after that, we got knocked out. And so we were able to, devote a lot more time to, scrimming together and game planning together and strategizing for each round. So, that really helped a lot. And, we have a really great team. It's a lot of fun with these guys. A lot of teamwork is going on behind the scenes that you guys don't get to see. But again, we do a lot of theory crafting and scrimming and helping each other to all perform our best. And that's why I love these team tournaments. Is like Sylph and GBL and stuff, you're kind of on your own. But these team tournaments, everyone has your back and are helping you, figure out the right lineup. You scrim, and maybe you scrim the same match 5 times in a row and just perfect that, and the other person's saying, oh, you should have switched faster, or, oh, you need to undercharge by a couple bubbles here, or whatever it may be. I just love that teamwork aspect.
Do you think that because of the dynamic you're describing, where you had the early competition for your attention, that the actual scrimming and practicing was more important than the process you guys put into team selection, or did you manage to find time to actually put together teams in a pretty organized way?
You mean like making our teams a 6 before the tournament?
Right. Yeah, I didn't know if you were distracted at that point and you only had so much time to do it, or if you really put a lot of time and effort into that.
So, funny story about that. It wasn't even being distracted by the other tournament. It was just we were all had a lot of things going on. But me, PolymersUp, and Caleb basically built all 5 teams in about an hour and a half before the deadline. And with about, I think, 20 minutes before the deadline, we still had 2 teams that... What are you showing us here, Speedy?
Sorry, I was just showing Nightwing a video that we were working on for ADL. My apologies.
Oh, for sure, no worries. But I think 20 minutes before the deadline, we still had 2 teams that only had 2 or 3 mons on them. So it was definitely a little bit of a scrambled effort. And after round 1, we're like, shoot, like some of these teams have some problems. My team in particular was fairly weak to Alolan Marowak. That thing is still giving me nightmares. But I think we're still able to do a decent job of making decently well-rounded teams, and then from there just working together to find how to use them in each matchup every round.
And the format allowed for one shadow per team. Was that the sort of thing? I noticed that both people that brought Machamp decided they were going to bring the shadow variant. Is that just you bring it because it's the superior variant? Was there any strategy involved in the one shadow per team? I know not everyone opted to bring it, but it seemed like more often than not.
I mean, I don't think we really had to worry about that. When we were team building, I think the teams kind of flushed out fairly easily, and I don't think we ever had a team where we really wanted two shadows on it. Just the way the team building dynamics went, at most, I think we had one shadow Machamp, we had a shadow Zapdos, and maybe a shadow Hypno. Those were the only three, and those just fit well into different teams, so that wasn't really a worry for us.
Yeah. And Nightwing, we've got you here. Your guys made quite a run, and you
undefeated to the finals.
Undefeated on the finals. Did you? Was there any hard feelings? The fact that they were able to take the 2 sets in a row. Did you?
I hate twastell now. I'm gonna work with Caleb again. Polymers. Nah, we're done. No, but for real, they had, honestly, I love these things because, one, I don't compete, so I'm not stressed out at all. But two, I just kind of watched, the boys do their thing. And, it's very good for community building. I love the AR PvP tournaments. We try to do them every time. We have, I think, come in second and third every single time. So always a bridesmaid, never a bride. But,
so you're coming for them next time, right?
We're here. This sounds lame, but my favorite part is I just watch the chat, and they go nuts. We got Shmoo, Griddle. I know Nightmare was a new addition to this team, but Shmoo's crazy. When you talk about team building before, I don't gotta do anything. He runs the ship. You make it he's forcing people to make sure we need to know when your schedule is so we can all be here at the time of your battle. It's funny, but it's very team building, unity. It's nice to see that kind of things in work. And there's not really a lot of big team tournaments of this scale. And this was how many people were how many teams were competing in total?
I want to say Alyssa said 32. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was 30. 30 this time.
But that's 30, but that's what, 30 teams times 5 people each. So that's 150 different battlers. That's wild.
Right.
That's a big tournament. That's bigger than some Sylph tournaments I've been to. It's fun, and I like the dynamic of it all. I'm pretty sure we're competing in the next one if there is a next one. So
I think the biggest
get second place again. Yeah.
The thing that's great now is I feel like we can rely on the fact that Niantic's not going to take away good friend battling from us at this point. If they do, then rip. But I feel like
the streets will riot.
They better not.
I feel like at this point we've got a pretty damn good handle on that. And so that being said, I think that we can pretty much bank on there being another one. It's just a matter of how much of a break Alyssa needs in between each one.
No, and for real,
that's a lot of work to put on. A lot of props for Alyssa and the rest of the AR PvP group.
Exactly.
Thanks, guys.
This is the third one, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Third. Don't.
And
I got it wrong at the start.
You're good. But and you can. I have been in the chats for most of them. I've been in our chat for most of them. They've progressively gotten better. And that's not saying any of them were bad, but each add a different element. I really love the Excel spreadsheet kind of thing going on too. I thoroughly enjoy the team tournament, and even this one. I'm pretty sure it was this one. It was early September. I forgot to register my dudes, and they did it all by themselves. That's I was definitely the bad captain of the ship to this one. But I know for this tournament I was pretty hands off. I was only just checking in, and I can't be anything congratulations to Munchcats. You definitely have earned this. You fought hard, but I'm proud as hell of my dudes. We went undefeated to the finals. and I think the record's like amazing too. So like, yeah, it sucks that we didn't win. We're gonna win the next one, guaranteed. Like, I think third place, second place. So first place is the only thing left, right? Like,
All right.
it's just simple math.
Third time's the charm.
Now, obviously, this was delayed. We really wanted to get this stream on earlier, and we just got everybody's schedule coordinated. Alyssa, have you already sent out the trophy, or do you have that in your possession still?
No, because they are custom made, they take a while. So I'm hoping they'll be done in like a week, and then I will work on getting them out to you guys. So I'll be in touch with you guys about getting those out as soon as they're ready.
Awesome.
Do you have the second place trophy made too? Damn.
How about like a certificate? I can mail you that.
I will definitely take a certificate to put on my wall. I don't have a wall, but sure. Yeah.
Do we have? Is it too early to ask when the next battle of the servers might be, Alyssa, and whether you've got any planning?
Oh, you got to give her a break, bro.
She's definitely.
So we don't want to burn out on them. We don't want it to be a thing we're doing just back to back and then people get bored of it. We really want to keep it a special thing. So I don't want to do too many. So this is our second one in about 6 months. And I think that every 3 months or so seems like a good gap between them. So we'll see. Maybe after the new year is when we can be expecting a bots 4 should that happen. No promises, but this was super great. It wasn't stressful at all. I enjoyed every second of it. Everybody that played with us, super grateful, and I would 100% do it again.
Just so long as you don't put it on like a World Cup or Olympic schedule where we're going like every 4 years or something, I think.
Oh no.
All right. Anything else anybody wanted to wrap up with? I know that I want to give everybody a chance to throw their shout outs out there. Anything from the PGBL side?
Thanks to Alyssa and the ARPVP group for putting this on again. Thanks to Jiggly Dad for hosting a great stream, and thanks to these 4 awesome shoutcasters for doing a good job tonight.
Thank you. Sorry about the audio difficulties at the beginning, guys. That was embarrassing.
I mean, we all know that you didn't want us to hear Speedy and DJ, but
yes, indeed.
We're used to it at this point, Jiggly.
Anything else? Anything else from your side, Nightwing, that you want to throw out there?
Yeah. I want to. Nightmare, vTenacity, Shmuseph, GriddleMaster. Who am I forgetting? nah, Joey, but like he doesn't count. He's not important. But big shout out to my dudes. I'm super proud of you guys. Like, I know I wasn't there for a lot of it, but I was rooting you on from the sidelines. Big shout out to ARPVP. Yo, we've been to 3, we've done 3, and I think we've had fun every single time. Like, regardless of like the actual like standings, like I super enjoy watching the actual like team building, the teamwork, like making sure that each team is like together. Like it's a full, like the way their thing is set up, it's very much like you can embrace it as a team, and it's kind of beautiful to watch. Like I've definitely enjoyed like literally sitting there watching them talk about the team comps, watching about what wins in the 2 shield, why you shouldn't do this, what you should do that, making sure that you check in after every single battle. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, what did he lead with? What was the save swap? What was that? Like, it's super analytical, and you don't get these kind of things from like Sylph or GBL, like, because like teamwork. I very much appreciate like watching the teamwork happen, and it's just cool to watch like my crew like succeed.
It's a lot of fun for sure.
Like, it would have been nice to win, but like again, I'm super proud of everyone. I'm just very thankful of Alyssa Rose, like ARPVP in general, because it's more than just her too. There's a whole team behind it. So like, yeah, and without them running it, I'm not running this thing, man. So like, like thank you. Like, I appreciate it, and we're just enjoying the riches. And good job, all the shoutcasters and stuff like that, except Speedy. I don't like Speedy.
Oh.
Thanks again to the Cool Cats for letting us borrow Caleb. Appreciate it. Had a lot of fun playing with him. And, shout out to my guys, PolymersUp, Gottsi, Bella, and Caleb. It's a lot of fun playing with you guys. We have a really great dynamic. Always fun doing these team tournaments. And hopefully, I think Gottsi is taking a break. Hopefully he won't take a break for too long because we're going to miss him. But a lot of fun playing with those guys.
Absolutely. From our casters, obviously we've got a bunch of you on here, so I'll try and take it in the order of appearing on screen. Let's go Speediest. You got any final closing words?
Yeah, honestly, again, Alyssa and Jiggly, thank you so much for putting this together. This is really awesome. And like I said, I had a couple of people approach me and I didn't pick a team. And just watching the battles and watching the actual other shoutcasters cover it, and then the matches DJ and I saw, it seemed like so much fun. So whenever you do a fourth one, I've got a good feeling I'll be there on the competitor side. So I'm really, really excited. Guys, Nightwing, Twastell, do you have any, this is something I just wanted to ask you real briefly at the end. Do you have any advice for people that want to jump into this for the first time and join a team, people like me that maybe, just getting started?
Have someone, like, it sounds weird, but like have someone take charge. Like, you're allowed to, there's so many excellent battlers out there, and the format like allows you to get assistance, talk about your team, talk about how you're gonna play. You, Speedy, you are the world champion right now. Find 4 people who will like listen to you, like and it's not even, it could be a collaborative effort too, but like it could be a collaborative effort too, but like if all of them need to be on the same page. I think if I can, from what I've seen, I can attribute the success of like PGBL was like, yo, everyone was on the same page, and like I watched them bump heads. There were some heated moments about some heated conversations, but again, like the results you could see, like, and I know we messed it up at the end, but like I'm super proud of their run. I think there's like 8 rounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went 7-0. That's like 5 battles time, 35 battles matches won. Like I'm like, yo, yeah, and 35 different matches where there was so much communication all the time. And like I think that's the big thing. You're allowed to ask for help. You're allowed to talk about the things that are going on. So just find a group of 5 people who you can talk. Hopefully one of those guys has an idea of what PvP is, and I think you'll learn as you go. Like it's one of those things where and this isn't ranked. This is just for fun. Like you have fun with it. It doesn't matter if you win or you lose. You're having fun and you're doing with a group of people you're supposed to be a team with. And like that's so like if you're like scared or you don't have people to do it, post on Twitter, post on Discord. It doesn't matter. If you don't have the friends that want to do it, make new friends. Like that's like I don't know. That's how I would. This one we had to replace a member from PGBL with someone else from PGBL because the other guy was busy. And like you're allowed to like cool cats too. Like you added your 5th. Like you're allowed to change. It's there should be no reason why someone doesn't compete in this thing. Like it's accessible. It's open, and like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, it's not even all on you. If you lose, 4 other people have to, like, lose too. I just censored myself, Jiggly Dad. Like, I should get some props. But, like 4 other people have to like lose too. So like, it's a fun thing. It's a collaborative like team effort. So yeah, like just find 4 people that like PvP. I'm pretty sure that's easy to find, and then join AR PvP. And make sure you submit your teams on the appropriate deadlines.
Very important.
Very important.
Yeah, I'd just say my advice is, if you're able to, team up with people that you're friends with. That it's just a lot more fun that way. But regardless, just try to find people that are good at communicating and good team players. Because again, it's a team tournament. So even if you have, it's not about finding the 5 best players. It's finding 5 players that can work together. Because again, it's all about being a team, and building teams together, strategizing, practicing, all that. It's really about that team, and again, that is what I think makes it so special, is having that teamwork going on. So definitely, do what you can to find a group of 5 people that can build a cohesive team.
Yeah, I know that one of the dynamics that I think is the most fun is just the fact that, every round it seems like a different person might carry. Like somebody tends to kind of fail each round. And, it takes more than one person to fail. You may feel like you let somebody down, but ordinarily it does not come down to one person. So it is it's very fun to just kind of get together and if the two people, if the person who didn't do so well, struggles, it's a lot easier to laugh it off than it is in some of these other competitive settings where you feel
we make
so
them
much
feel it every single time. If we get an 0-5, like I'm still talking about an 0-5 from Battle of the Servers season 2 or Battle of the Servers 2. vTenacity, I'll never let you forget that one, bro. Like never, man.
Well, my team's not gonna let me live it down because I guess Gottsi went through and like totaled up everyone's wins, and I had the least game wins of everyone on the team.
So I'm keeping stats.
Yeah, they're all making jokes at how they carried me. But
you
thank
keep
you guys
stats
for
so you can
carrying
do
me
better
here.
the next time.
We got to get some deep stats for the next one that we can have on stream. Anything from DJ Enterprise? Anything you want to say in closing? I know I'm glad to have you back as a member of the PvP community recently. It was not the same without you, sir. So I was so glad to be able to get you on the cast, and you brought the energy and you brought the dad jokes.
I brought the dad jokes because I watched too much King. That's why. But not only was this entertaining to watch, and not only was this entertaining the shoutcast, but this was very entertaining in the sense of a learning experience, because learning should be fun. And watching the moves that were made amongst all 10 of these amazing battlers, you don't necessarily have to be known to be good. There's a lot of people that are rich, but you don't know them. So there's a lot of great battlers here that I never knew that I learned today, and I learned a lot from what they've done. And I'm really grateful. Thank you, Jiggly Dad, for from the beginning, I second guessed even wanting to be a shoutcaster. I said, I don't know anything. There's some things I may not have proper knowledge of. I'm new to the PvP game. And, eventually I changed my mind, and look where we are now. My diploma from shoutcast, I don't know where I put it. Room's a little messy right now, but I'll find it eventually. But here we are. We did go stadium. I did. I come on your tournaments all the time, and I'm thankful that you and Alyssa and the team have put me on to doing this tournament here. And again, once again, I'm deeply grateful. Thank you, Jiggly Dad, for putting me where I am today. Thank you, Alyssa, for having me shoutcast the tournament. I am like so low to standing next to a legend in Speediest Chief over here. But I am grateful to have co-casted with you, and also alongside Ten Rixing and Fish. Thank you guys so much for I take notes from you guys as well. Listening to what you guys say. So I thank you all. Thank you to all the competitors that allowed me to shoutcast, and last but not least, thank you for having me back. As I took a couple months off. Times were hard, but I'm back now. I'll be back tomorrow. You heard it here first. Spread the word. Twitch.tv/DJ Enterprise, and follow the Twitter as well. And again, thank you.
An integral part of the community, if you ask me. So it is. I'm so glad that you were able to take a part in this. Fish, anything from you out in Aussie land? I really appreciate that you've stuck with us this long. I guess I don't know exactly what the time is there, but it's probably middle of the day, right?
Yeah. So I'm more impressed with you guys staying up this long. Look, just thank you to Jiggly Dad first for being able to host this final. Thanks to every time I see the name ARPVP, I'm always going to think that's Alyssa Rose PvP. Thank you to Alyssa for all the work she does. Great job to twastell and the Munchcats and Nightwing. Sorry, just remind me, what position did you guys come in the previous spots?
Third and second, and then second, and then.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I wasn't sure you'd mentioned that yet.
Oh, I just got burned.
Yeah, no.
that was a
Yo,
down
how
under
you do
burn.
Down under.
Oh.
Jesus.
No, look, I'm
gonna go cry now. All right. Thank you very much.
Nah, man, I can. If he's still listening, I can tell just straight away how good you are for the PvP scene, man. So,
Thank you, man. I'm actually awful at battling those, so it's great. It's a great dynamic.
That's fine, man. Yeah, no, it's good. You seem to bring a lot of energy. It's great.
Listen,
I appreciate it, man.
Battles, I'm just saying.
Yeah. You saw that, Mardo.
and of course, thanks to the shoutcasters.
Oh, 10. I can't imagine you're gonna dig that low. Anything you want to say to bring us out on a high note?
Yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for allowing me to be a part of this. Like, it's super fun to be up here and shoutcasting with, three amazing streamers, by the way. Fish on a Heater PvP, DJ Enterprise, Speedy is Chief 2. And it's awesome to be here. I'm not a streamer yet, but it's great to be a part of the community. Obviously, Alyssa, you and ARF PvP have put together clearly an amazing experience for everybody involved. And I'm definitely also envious of the experience. Maybe I'll be a battler or another shoutcaster, for a future event. But it sounds like a phenomenal job that you and everyone on the team has done. And frankly, also this stream by itself is quite a work. It's a lot of work, and Jiggly Dad, well done on putting this together, and the people behind the scenes that you guys didn't necessarily see on screen, like Max and Scientist D helping out. It really made the job for me. We got more screen time, but it made it easy. And it was an absolute pleasure to be here. So thank you to everyone involved.
Thank you. And I mean, the biggest thanks of all definitely go to Alyssa Rose and AR PvP. I'm so grateful that she was willing to entrust me with this, and just so grateful that she puts it on and is willing to put so much work into it behind the scenes. I'm always hearing just how much she's having to get done at the last moment, and she's always very gracious to do that. And love my bell sprouts. Wouldn't be the same without you, and hope that we have many more of these. And yeah, anything else to say on the AR PvP side, Alyssa? I think that we can let's probably raid Rommel. I love my man Rommel there.
Can I ask a question before we go?
Yeah, sure thing.
Nightwing, what's up with the frying pan?
I think they
Yo, Speedy, I'm moving your mic, bro. I'm moving your mic. You can't leave that on me. Yo, that is keep watching Speedy and Nightwing and the things they're involved with and the things they do. There might be a frying pan showing up in someone's future. Is that that's the weirdest yo?
Yeah,
that
I mean,
was
we
the
saw.
most vague thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like you were reading my tarot cards.
Wait, what?
It felt like you were reading my tarot cards. Like you're sitting across the desk, like, oh, I see a frying pan in your future.
I all I could say is
honestly,
I got sent a video today of someone cooking a stunfisk in a frying pan.
Oh.
and it was one of the funniest things.
Consensual.
Yeah, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And there's more to come. But hold on, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Alyssa, right?
Yeah.
You AR, why is there a poster of New York State behind you? It's the best state. No, let's get rid of the other ones.
I'm from New York, so that's why that's there.
Yeah.
Those are just all the states I've lived in.
Okay, all right. I was like, yo, that's not Arkansas. That's like New York.
It does over there.
All right, we don't pay attention to anything that's not New York.
All right, last word for Alyssa. Do you have anything to send us out on? I want to throw a raid over to Rommel, but you are the one who brought us all this.
Yes, just again, so grateful for everyone behind the scenes and on the screen and back in my own and ARPD for just countless hours of work on this. And you guys killed it tonight. It was so enjoyable to be a part of. Still in disbelief that this was somehow credited as my tournament, because I feel like it's really everybody else who participated in it and not just mine. But yeah, just got a lot and love his community. It's so nice.
We love you, Alyssa. So we will send the raid out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It has been great. Have a good night.
Thank you, Jiggly Dad, for hosting the stream.
Thank you.